the same without you. We met some other still remains to do. You're the only thing I'm holding on to. And if I'm never there, I'll be there. And I till the end. Don't need to pretend. Again and again, we'll stick together. Everything is alright with you by my side. We won't say goodbye. Stick together.
Hello, chat. My chat's on the wrong side as well, so I'm looking at the wrong things. Let me just fix this so I can talk to you, make you all feel kind of cute and stuff. Hi, everyone. Pick you up. I can let me down. I need to turn it down a little bit. Is this okay? That's okay, right? That's okay. I can turn it down from here. Hello, all you sexual beings. How we doing today? Bunny, hi, sexy. How you doing? Welcome, Sin. Mutin, who is even this? Who is Mutin? We don't even know. How you doing today? Chat, welcome in. Welcome. It's going to be it's a different one today. First of all, let me just say Fake Shank. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome to the Sin. Trust the HD family. Wait, what is it? Chat, what did we say? Welcome to the Sinternet. Sinternet. Oh my god, I forgot it. Chat, somebody clip it and make me feel bad about myself later in the day. But welcome to the Sinternet. My name is Sintrusty HD. I hope you're having a good time. You're in a good place. All that jazz. We're doing it. Look, who the fuck is this guy? I don't even know, Morgan. I don't even know. This guy's flaming and fireful, eh? That's who I am. Lily, hello. How are we doing? Welcome, Sin. Look at you. Look at all. True. Thank you for your prime as well. Chat, you see that? See, is it there? It's there. See that? You need to give me your money, okay? Hey, Sin, what's up? Hey, Toasty. How you doing? What's with the hat? I don't even know. It's because my hair's not done today, okay? I wash it every 2 days because of how long it is. And chat, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of it's not looking great today. Chat, you know what? I'll compromise when we hit a hype train. That's the thing, okay? I'll take the hat off if we hit a hype. That's your only condition today, okay? That's the only one. But Drew, thank you so much for the prom. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, brother. I love you. Dummy balls. Welcome in. But this feels surreal to see you on my phone again. Hey, Morgan. Well, listen, bro. Listen. I'm back, babe. I'm back full time as well, okay? I've been with the second. We got near with the first, okay? And that's how we do. We got to hide water. Drink water. Thank you. I appreciate you telling me to hydrate. Well, chat, look. Y'all want to talk about... hello there. Want to talk about hydration today? I've got a 2.25 litre of Mountain Dew. You know what? How weird is that? 2.25 litres. What even is it? I've got nothing left, bruv. Morgan, thank you for your 54 bits. I appreciate it overall. I appreciate it, brother. Hey, yo, listen. How's the child? How is little one doing, Morgan? Alright, that should help my microphone move a little bit. I'm good. I'm not. Get the Doritos involved. Chat, I've got a real bad habit, right? And I want you to tell me, is it fine or fucked, okay? Now, here's... How's your baby doing, Sin? My baby's doing amazing, I hope. But, chat, here's the question. I'm going to put it in a poll, right? And I want you to tell me, is it fact or fuck? Did I mention, chat, we are no longer PG-13, as you're about to find out in a couple of seconds. You're about to find out. We're doing GTA roleplay now. we are on NoPixel. In fact, should I give thou, dost thou carpet match thine drapes, you say? Let me move my stream. My stream needs to be here. So, oh, brother, this guy stinks. Look, chat, you ready? Look at this. We got GTA ready. GTA is in the background. We're going to be doing some NoPixel, okay? Some GTA 5 NoPixel. Your stream is going to get a warning sign the second you change the category to GTA. Yeah, it's fine. But we're no longer. It's so over. Now, chat, so here's what I want to know. I'm going to put a poll in chat, and I want to know. Your mic is so loud. Is it? Wait, is it? Chat, is my microphone too loud? Yes or no? Is it fine or is it fucked? Bless you! Thank you!
Who gifted a tier 1 sub to PH4I103. This is their first gift sub in the channel.
You need to turn the music down, that is so loud. Bless you, thank you. Reading the message explains the message. Which message? Needs attention. Get the Doritos involved. What part did I just get? Music isn't that bad. Drop it down, touch now. Okay, there we go. There you go. Music red as mic. Oh, my music is so loud. Oh my god, I am just blind. I know, I'm blind. Is that better? Is the music better then? Is that a thing? Oh, fuck. I'm just spitting. I might try going to NoPixel first time today. I'm going to be honest. Unless you are paying for priority, you ain't ever getting on today. Genuinely. Can hear the scouts now. Hey, yo, Wagwan, kid, how are we? Yeah? Wagwan. Well, thank you again. Bless you for the tier 1 gifted sub. On to Zine. Zine deserves it, okay? Zine's good. Your music's good now. Thank you. I'm 14 cute. You ain't ever getting in. No, you know that. Right, chat, listen, I need to do. Grant, what NoPixel server are you playing on? I'm going to be playing on NoPixel Blue, okay? We are going to be moving on to Whitelist eventually. However, I want to get the story out. I want to get you guys involved with who the character is. Mater T, known as Tomater, if you're familiar with who he is behind, or if not, his name is Tomater. He tows trucks for a living. My name is Tomater, like tomato, but without the tuh. And that's who he is. EU Storm is so easy to get on now. It is. You get on at 4 a.m. Boom. You get on at noon. Boom. You get on at this storm. Impossible to get onto. I got on with Prio, but I haven't bought it. I've just been given random priority for some reason. Hey. Is that a shorty I see in the dis? Look at this. Chat, I miss everyone so much. Right, so chat, I need to know. I'm going to put inside the chat a poll, right? And we're going to do fine or fucked. Is it fine or is it fucked? Fine or fucked? Oh, wait. I may as well... Is it, Mountain Dew? Fine. Okay. I'm going to put it in for 1 minute, chat. You've got 1 minute, go. Is it fine or fucked? A 2-litre bottle of Mountain Dew. Why can't I hear the music? I might have turned it down a little too much. That should definitely do a lot more for you then, I guess. I got jump scared by 5M music? I do. I get jump scared by it. Yeah. Are you diabetic? I am! Yeah, I know. I know. But I know, I've only bought the one, and I don't typically drink a chat, okay? I want to preface this. I do not typically double duct. It is true. Well, Django proclaim. Let me just tell you now, chat. I'm dropping PG-13. Okay, we've been going on long enough. I feel like it's time that we finally hit that. I feel like we should finally hit it. But I feel like I need to give you guys a goal to deserve it. Okay, I feel like you deserve. It was 50-50. Wait. I had to re-record that one. I didn't have it. It's a tie. 50-50 though. Working in fast food makes it nearly impossible to stay on a diet right now. Martin Day will be crazy. Not doing that on camera. Not for anyone, not for me. Not even for my ma.
Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die.
It's true because I'm diabetic, get it? Mountain Dew is the best soda ever. It is if you're a gamer. 420 blaze it, you know? All of that. But, okay, chat, next one. New poll, right? I do have... This one's, eating cereal without milk. Fine. Fucked. I want to know this one. I need to stay. Wank, wank. Oh, it's a banger, okay? I mean, I'm not the first person to say Justin Bieber's the one, but this is the track, you know? I like Milk, not Miles. Wait, did I do... Without Miles Morales. Wow. Gosh darn it. Gonna need some more commands. I know. Since back in business. Hey, Tiger, what's going on, bro? It's a tie again. You're strange. I'm for it, though. You guys are weird. And I'm here for it. Never would. Stay. Right, now, I have got the game up. Oh, wait, wrong. Oh, no, don't do that. Hi, I'm back, everyone. Nice to see you. My chat's disappeared. Oh, so much happened. I missed it. Depends on the server, but yeah, fine. But what about... So, I've just been... Not sponsored, but I've just been like... You know... That's what I've been doing. It's a terrible habit, I know. But... I'm just saying. What are those? These are Cocoa Pops. What do you mean? Can't spell Kellogg's without GG. It's true. You can't spell Kellogg's without GG. Well, fun fact, actually. Can we make Rice Krispie cakes? Of course. I love Rice Krispie cakes. With chocolate and with marshmallows on top. You've got to bet, okay? It's a UK thing? No, it's not a UK thing. They're a popular cereal. Not just because you guys have Captain Crunch and that's it. Ignorant bitch. What do you mean? I'm gonna hit. Damn it, chat. I can't win. Bye, everyone. Psych. But, Zine, on topic of you saying about sponsorships, right? Fun fact. I got 8 sponsorship offers for doing my return stream. It was kind of cool. UK cereal box is it's just a box of baked beans. See, Adam knows because Adam's from the UK. Yeah, we done our first stream back and then boom. Sponsorship. I was like, thank you. Hi, Bella, you freak. Welcome to the chat. How you doing? Chat, I'm going to shave my beard off. I might do. I might shave it all off. It's too long, you know. I asked if we can make chocolate Rice Krispie cakes. I said yes. I answered that. I said yes, and we could put marshmallows on top of them. I was there for that. We were there for that. Right, let's move over to this side of the TV, right? Is this going to be like, yeah, can I do this now? Yeah? I want the redneck guy back. I'm going to be back. Right, so chat's now on the other monitor now. So if you look at me looking over to the wrong side, I apologize. Wait. Why is this Mamoru song in Japanese and not in Korean? The original song is a DMCA safe song. I don't know. Why don't you ask? Oh, Lord and Savior. Hero Brian. I don't know. Hi, Boris. Hey, Dommy. Right, chat. So, look, we're going to do a quick... we're going to change the game. We're changing up the game. And we're going to be going on to... Category is going to be Grand Theft Auto. Do not meet the minimum requirements to do this. Shut the freaking hell up. Right, we should be fine, okay? We should be fine. Are we fine? Oh my god, my chat's not there anymore. It's gonna be weird to look at. Bear with me, chat. Don't bend it closer, closer. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, we're fine. That's fine. That looks good. And now I'm going to put on... You didn't hear anything. Put my playlist on now, chat. I can't even see you guys right now, so if you're talking... Aha! Right, there you are. Okay, do Farming Simulator 19. What do you mean? I can't do Farming Simulator. Oh, wait, I need to put the GTA scene on. There we go. Intended for certain audiences. Yeah, there we go. We got that one now. Moderate sleep, post-government secrets. Guys, let's go on to Farming Simulator and post-government secrets. Watch my Overwatch clips. I always watch your Overwatch clips. They're insane, actually. Right, this is where we find out the moment of truth. Is the stream gonna handle Meta, or is it gonna have? Are we gonna have an encoder overload? So far, so good. If you do post government secrets, I have no idea how to delete the messages. You need to enable mod view, okay? Please. Hey, wait, come on. Bunny posted another Overwatch clip. I can't do it now. I'm on the game. Please don't be laggy. Please don't be laggy. What is inside my apartment? There is no way. I'm out. Peace. Nobody, no. Hey, Zine. Spliff time. Right, chat, let me turn the music down a little bit. Right, you might not... Chat, tell me, can you hear that or not? Beg me to stay. No, you! The GTA character looks like he knows how to play every 21 Pilot song on bass. That's true, to be fair. Please. Bunny, don't leave the chat. Look, finger hearts just for you. You stay here. You say hi to people. That's some jank weed. Look at the quality. I know. I could probably just sell it for like, what, 100? Get rid. That should be fine. Drop them on the floor. At post, open my door, please. It's the wrong way. Oh, Jesus Christ, brother. Where are we doing it? Oh, wait, no. I need to actually, chat. I think I'm going to have to turn the music off and then we'll have to play music in here. There's going to be a problem with this. Oh, I've just realized. This is the first time we're going to do a stream where... This is going to be the first stream where I don't play music in it. That's kind of gross. Hydrate. Ayo, Scott, how you doing? Look, chat, I've got the big one. Hi, everyone. I send gifts. And he... No. Hype train means I take my hat off. I don't want that today. We ain't love diabetes. Holy cow. Okay. Now, let's indulge in Meta. So Meta is a tuck tow driving. Give you a fun fact about it. I'm terrified to find out what that is. As my partner in crime, I do not know what that is, and that sounds like it's scared the life out of me. Damn, this is running smooth. I know, right? I was not expecting it to at all. I'm not dropping any frames. There's no way. There is no way. Drew, please, please. Y'all didn't see anything, okay? Is it going to do it? Are we going to do the trick? I shouldn't really do this trick on stream either, not gonna lie. No. Okay, I'm gonna get out the car. Okay, that's a player-owned car. Never mind. Let's not rob people's cars, especially when we're straight there. Lamborghini, Lamborghini. You cannot see me in my Lamborghini. Right, what we need to do. We need to go start our job for the day, because if those who don't know yet, and I don't know why you would know. So, those who don't know, if people don't say ick, those who don't know, do they know what NoPixel is? Do you not know what GTA roleplay is in general? Now, let me just say, NoPixel is GTA role-playing, right? Where you go and you play a character, and there's a lot of people in the city, in a server, and that's what they're doing. They're just pretending to do drone life, like this dude. Morning! That's me, Mater Tate. Everybody in the city kind of knows who I am by now. I'm a pickup driver, you know? Brother! What up, brother? And that's what you do, and that's the name. That's who he is. That's Mater Tate. He walks around, he pretends to just be a cool little guy. And because, chat, because I cannot put music on in the stream, which means today, you guys are free to put on whatever music you like. What do you listen to? Huh? What do you listen to? I don't know. Simpsons, Cletus. No, I am not. Cats sped up. That is not what I listen to you all day long. That's, to be fair, that's not wrong. You do have to put it right. So we need to go this way and turn left at the ammunition store. So, whoa. I got and busted my sting bone. I go down, busted. Who's that flirting? Dan, say hi in chat, please. Fun fact, I'm friends with someone called Bart Simpson. That's a mad fact, actually. I'm going a complete darn and wrong way. Oh, wait, yeah, there's the... Gosh darn it, the heck. Bunny buns. There we go. Have him? True. Please, I will. That's fine. You want to flirt? Listen, Dan, get out my chat. I'll just ban you from my chat. I've told you don't break rules, okay? Oh, Jesus Christ, it's a good day to be in Los Angeles. Right, let's put on... Let's put on to Twitter that we're here, okay? Morning, Los... That's how I say it. Morning, Los Angeles. And that's us. Let's go. Did we post? There it is. Morning, Los Santos. I'm in Dom Tomato's Insta story. Who is Dom Tomato? It's such a long drive. Why is it called Twitter? Because they'd get probably killed for calling it Twitter. Even though it's not even called that anymore. It's called X. You know? They could have just got away with it. Nobody really cares. But yeah, they had to call it Twitter. Which I don't understand, because Twitter in the UK is such an insult. You know? Category is booming right now. It should be called Z. See, that'd be funny. That'd make so much more sense as well. Calling it Z instead of X. I don't have X's. I have Y's. Like, why the hell did I even date your ass in the first place? You know? Let's make that our new business idea. Let's make Z. What is Z? The new Twitter. It's like Twitter, but it's only 18 plus content. You know? I have Z chromosomes. True. I have B chromosomes. Twitter is still copyrighted. Yeah, I know. Since Rockstar owns 5M, they cannot use it to get legal. Yeah, I know. Missing yours? Huh? Oh, wow. Okay. Right. Okay, we are. We need to stick the right here and then we're good. People would be arguing over whether it was called Z or Z. People would still be arguing if it was actually called Twitter, though. And it's been X amount of time. Where X equals 4. Oh my god, we've got to walk so far. Welcome to GTA top tier content, chat. This is what it is. Z for real. Oh, not you. Not you too. Ain't no one calling it X. Let's be real. Nobody calls it X. Nobody calls it X. If you go onto X and you call it X, you're a clout chaser. That's what you are. You're trying to be quirky. It's Z. Z sounds like... Z is the name of a DJ, okay? It's as clear as day. We're talking about Z, it's a DJ. You're talking about Z, I'm talking about the letter. Talking about Zine, we're talking about Zine. Or Zine. The two people who are on Twitch. Why? Do I still need to just go straight forward? Oh, no. Oh, it's right there. That's not my camera. My camera's not there anymore. Oh, we're gonna get killed by a truck and driver. Thank God he didn't run us over. What happened to the car you just broke into? No lockpicks. I need a lockpick if I want to get into it. Right, chat. You're about to hear Sin loves. What do I love again? I do love. I have a lot of love. Right. You're all about to meet Mater for the first time, okay? Boom. It's a shame it's late at night as well. That'd be the upset. Don't wanna? Don't wanna... Hi, Steven. You wanna give me a job? Thanks, buddy. Later. See, now we have a job. And this is how it works. The rule is on the server, you cannot and you must not break character. The second that your microphone is on... That looks like a lizard man. What, this dude? Does he look like a lizard? Chat, be honest, do I look like a lizard? That's the guy from Men in Black. I'm actually just a lizard. Oh, it's Travis.
Yeah, but the thing is, with the house, I don't think I can do much.
Morning, fellas.
I've got a leg to stand on because.
Right, let's get out our car. He looks like my Alabama father. Oh, that's unfortunate. Sweet home Alabama, yeah. When time for you, yeah. Get my car out today to do some trucking. Damn, she look good today. All you need is a coffee. That's all I need. He looks hella stoned. He is, that's why. He's constantly stoned. In fact, you know what? That's a good point. It's tomato. It's tomato. Like tomato, but without the toe. Facts. Grab him a coffee. Fine, watch this. Hey, buddy. Listen. Do any of you guys like to smoke on the good old stuff?
Yeah, Charlie loves to smoke the fucking.
I love
smoke
crack,
a good
though,
doobie.
mate.
Yeah,
Only
he does
crack.
love crack as well.
Listen, I ain't got none of that crack stuff. What I do have is that fine Mary Jane, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, you got wet bud or bags?
I got some bags.
Strain or just null?
It's a null one. I got given as a gift.
Mate, if you give me that, I'll give you my bags as a gift.
No, I'm just gonna give it you. It's fine. I just don't want to hold on to it no more.
Yeah,
It's
I
all
don't wanna
good.
hold them.
I'll
Yeah,
take
I
it.
don't wanna hold them
I'm
for
already
my
holding
bags
enough. They'll probably raid me.
There you go, buddy. Enjoy those, will you?
either. Cheers, mate.
Later, buddy.
Bags and null.
I just gave him just a load of weed that has nothing in it at all. It's just null. Moonshot gave you 4-wheel drive. Oh, I just locked my truck as well. I just locked my truck again. Now I've unlocked my truck. Right, chat. We're just gonna be trucking. Okay? And you know what I can do as well? I can now... Oh, wait, this is a good point. I can actually make it so that you guys can actually hear some freaking music. Audio. Oh, geez, now you guys can hear. Let's put some classical music on. Alright. Why don't you actually start to drive for real? As in, oh, what do you mean? Like, why don't I drive in the real world? Is that what you're asking? Not as in GTA. DMCA free radio is awesome. Yeah. You're gonna get meet Mater for the first time is a bad dealer. For real? Oh, I don't drive because I was in a car accident and it kind of put me off driving for life. That's the only reason. I was just in a stupid accident that just put me off it. And now I kind of can't come to the terms of driving. It's a bit of a trauma story. Have I never told you? Surely I've told you. Really? For real, for real. But I think some of y'all are going to get hit with an advert as well, so I'm sorry, chat. Nuh-uh. Oh, okay. Well, listen, I'm not going to let chat hear it just because it's very, This is not the part of town I want to be. Sorry, buddy, took the wrong turn. Wait, are you with Ballers?
No, I'm just a fucking yeah, I'm about to try.
Ah, fair enough. Later, mater.
You ain't come here to tow my car, did you?
Oh no, sorry. I'm just in my head a little bit, and I just ended up in the wrong part of town.
Okay. Now you good.
Later, dog. Oh no. Oh, we just went. Listen, chat. So, okay, so the city also has a lot of gang members. The ones who drive in, what in the God's name is? Well, he's stuck. He's not getting fixed by me. Yeah, the ones who are in purple are owned by the gang called Ballers. You don't mess with the Ballers, okay? I could have genuinely went very, very poorly. Honestly, I could have just ended up getting shot just there. Let me turn myself onto accepting jobs. But it was that was very bad timing. Oof, right, okay. We are now back in action. That was so close to toast. Right, let's put some hard bass on. And we got a job to accept. So what we do is, here we go, boom. Look at I do is chill. To be fair, no, I work with that gang. It was just bad. It was just bad that I'd went there. Okay. Yeah, I work with the Ballers. So Mate is pretty well known in the city, to be honest. People just see the orange truck and are like, damn, it's Mata. I just, you know. Hey, Sludge, thank you so much for the follow, dude. Welcome, Sin. Hope you're having a good... Why is my follow... The follow thing so screwed? But Sludge, thanks for the follow, dude. I appreciate it. Welcome to this internet. Hey, it's my mom, Mater. Hey, yo, what up, dude? It's me. I'm indeed. It's Mata. How y'all doing, dude? Welcome, Sin. Hope you're having a good day, man. It is. I'm dressed in my... I had my full Mata outfit on earlier, and I'm like... We're being chilling now. Right, do I need to stay on this path? You freaking donut. Lexi! Hello, beautiful. How you doing? Better call Paul. Paulie, is that you, brother? Wait, hold up. Wait, I need to park. Ain't no way. Hi, Lexi. Oh my god. Wait. Gunther. Gunnar, are you here, brother? Sadly? What do you mean? Paulie! Hey, yo, look at it. Hey, Gunnar, look at it. Paulie, baby. Oh, that's so cool to see you, bro. Nice to meet you. Like, actually meet you as well. We need to keep going on. Wait, let me just accept this phone call real quick. Mater!
Beta, you asshole, how you doing?
Hey, yo, welcome. Hey, yo, Paulie, is that you, baby?
That's me. It's Paulie B.
Oh, Paulie, how you doing, baby?
Out here changing tires for these goddamn locals, you know.
Well, you gotta make some money somehow.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of money, I suppose.
How's business been today, buddy? You been doing good?
Been doing good. I see you got a body cam.
I'm carrying body cam with me today, sir. Yes, sir.
That's awesome. I'm proud of you.
Buddy, I'm glad to be back and to see you in town today.
Yeah, it's always a good time when Mata's around.
Listen, we got some work I gotta do today, but I'm gonna be towing pretty much all day. We'll probably get Gunner to get on a little soon and hop into town, maybe get Cutter in.
Oh shit, these fucking locals hit my truck, goddammit.
Brother, you deal with what you gotta do. Get them.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later, Mata.
Later.
I gotta kick this local's ass.
Jesus fucking Christ. That is Paulie, chat. I love Paulie. That voice is quality. I love Paul. Paul's great. Oh, Gunner's been a longest flight today. I know. Okay, but it's, so much has happened. Where the frick have you been? Lexi, I moved city. I moved from my hometown, which is Liverpool, and I moved to London which I'm sure you probably know London anyway, but we moved to London. I started up my own company here, and I took the year to kind of make sure that the company was going up and running before I came back, and now we're here. Sounds like Big Les. Whoa, that's a comparison I didn't think about. Sounds like Rocky Balboa's trainer. Guys, okay, he's just a hillbilly, okay? It's just Mater Team Mater, okay? From Mater's Motors. Like Mater's Motors, like iron. Right, let's turn into here. Man, Gunter's been trying to get into City while Paulie's for like a week. And then there's just me that's walking around, just casually bumps into Paulie 24/7. It's nice that Paulie came by into the Twitch chat as well. You know, bit of a vibe on it. Drop your yellow pages. Antoine. No, not yet. I just want to get a job out the way first. Oh, the game's being a bit funky. We nearly crashed. Oh, my engine's overheating. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, I'm overheating. Not again. Okay, this job needs to stop, chat. We can't do this job. This is going to be funk. This is going to... Oh, this is not going to be fun at all. We need to be very careful. Oh, chat. So yesterday while I was driving, somebody totaled my truck by slamming into it, and it just didn't end up... It just didn't go well. Oh, would you come and see me? Oh. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Now listen here, these don't look too good for me. I don't know what to do. I need to curl up a towel or something. Who can we call? Ghostbusters. I need to save Paulie's number in my... I do have Paulie's number. I don't know why. It's a... Paulie. Paulie B. Right, okay, this is going to be a fun one. Gosh darn it, a freaking heck, dude.
What's up, Mater?
Hey, Paulie, we got a real situation.
A situation, huh?
My engine's overheated and turned into a bonfire.
Oh, shit. Yeah, where you at? I'll come help you out.
Alright, so let me give you my ping. Do you need my ping?
Yeah, hold on. No, I'm 167.
You get that?
Yeah, let's see where you're at.
Jesus fucking Christ, I just want to do some towing, brother.
Yeah, I'll be there probably 4 or 5 minutes or so. I'm not too far from you.
I gotta take your time, brother. It's all good. I'm chilling.
Yeah, see you soon, Mater.
Later, dog. Chat. Okay, so now we don't have a car, so now we can't do the towing. And I want to tow because towing makes money, and money means that... Jesus freaking Christ. I've tried, dude. What have you been trying to do? Making get the premium air too. What premium air? You can't get premium, more premium than this. I don't know, bro. Oh. Lexi, wait, what did I listen out? Let me go here so I can pull my phone out so I can just read this. So you've missed my updates too. I've last new pieces guy last year. Proud of you for that one. Also, thank you. Hey, yo, Sicarius. Where the freaking hell is that going? Fix. Alerts. Go to my alerts. Is it this one? This one. Move you to over here. There we go. Now I've got that. That's great. Hey, yo, Sicarius. Thank you so much, brother. Welcome in. How you doing? 30 months. Chat. 30 months. This guy's nuts. Alright, so let me see what it did just say. It said, left music again. Yep, cool. It's just me and the kids now. Also love that for you. Did we go public with a new guy? Hella congratulations for that one. In between jobs now, we're starting basically, but you're getting it. Well, I'm loving everything for you. Okay, I love everything. Okay, I'm glad that things are turning up for you a little bit. It said Sean in the font. What? Who's pinging me in my real name? Stop that. That's just mean. Jesus Christ, brother, not in this kind of economy. Don't be saying my name. You gosh darn it, bitch. Gosh, now I feel like I need to put music on in the background as well. Right, where are we going? I need to turn this down. There we go. I had to keep the sub going while you were gone. Bro, I know, you are on top of things. Right, now continue. There we go. That can stay on for now. Jeez. Oh, that's so annoying what happened now. Welcome in now. Tow equals money equals better truck equals more towing equals more money. You've just fixed the economy there, Scott, you know. You've fixed everything. The world's a better place now. What are you looking at, princess? Hey? Saying, please, shh. Huh? You pull off that voice so well. Had no idea you were European. Oh, that makes me happy. Yeah, I'm from the UK. Ah. Actually, keep talking. Huh? Okay, hello. Yeah, but I'm from the UK. This is just my meta voice. I need to wait. You know what? Oh, and there's one thing that we can do as well. We can just go down here and go boink boink. Sit. See, because we've got to roll. You've got to maintain your character 24/7. Oh, here he is. Hey, yo, not you, brother. Paulie, what can I say, brother?
The hell do you do? Local get in your way?
No, see, yesterday we had a problem. Wait, can you hear my iPod on loud?
I can't hear your iPod. I can just hear you.
Okay, that's good shit. That's good shit. Listen, yesterday, I was driving down the road and then someone came behind me and went kablow. Another truck at 160 mile an hour. Next thing you know,
you told me about that last night.
blue. Yeah, so we fixed it. And she just overheating. I think I need a 2 actual or something. Maybe even a 3. Tell him Wagwan, blood.
Is this another
Wagwan.
dud hook under here? You need to stop hitting them hookers, man.
Holy shit, brother. Hey, yo, are you good there?
Oh, god damn, I hate these locals. I'm gonna have to go kick his ass, too.
Bro, listen, I'm way ahead. I'm way ahead of you, brother. Wait for me. Quit my knife chat.
I think my leg's fucking broken.
Did I break anything? I've got Vig. I got a bit of a chest pain. Looks like they fucked off as well.
Yeah, looks like it. They knew what was coming to them.
Death, shortly.
I gotta grab another.
Oh, what the shit? I'm gonna wait over here for him to do this. I feel like it might be these freaking locals, bro. He's packed. Paulie's the guy. Paulie really is the guy. Oh, I can't even hear him. Hold on.
We'll get you fixed up, and then I gotta go to the hospital. See
Brother.
Dr. Nancy.
You gotta see Nancy. You got everything there, you know. You gotta go. She gave me some morphine yesterday. Oh wait.
Oh, that's good shit.
That was some good shit. It's adventure time.
Did you take it? Did you take the whole bag? I can use me some of that morphine.
Oh, brother, I was drinking it like it was butter or sauce on Tuesday night, if you know.
Nice.
Give it to me straight,
Morphine
though,
makes
Doc.
me nod out real good.
Oh, brother, it helped me sleep every now and again, if you know what I mean.
Hell yeah. Let's just get this dead hooker out of here.
Wait, there's a dead hooker here. I can get at least 5 minutes on that girl.
Necrophilia is so in right now.
They pay by the hour. The truck
There
is
we go.
fucked.
Should be good for you. Yeah. Look at this. Look at this. We got the green and the orange together.
We should make purple,
You know what
brother.
that means. Yeah, purple. Yeah, you know.
Oh, we need to kill that guy more often.
Yeah, I feel like I seen him at Mosley's a night or two ago, but
Say
I
less,
didn't want to
brother.
do anything there.
That's good. Listen, how much do I owe you for this?
Oh, nothing. It's you, mate. Why would I make you pay?
Paulie, listen, if I could kiss a man, I could, but God forbid it in my laws.
Look, you know the rules.
And
We
so
got our
do
socks
I.
on.
Oh, you got that right, brother.
Hell yeah.
I don't know how to kiss people. No one taught me how to do this. I don't know how to kiss people. Wait, there's local.
Oh,
These
I was
dress
trying
out
to
as close.
high-five you, but
Brother, well, you can high five me any day. Oh, fucking hell, brother. I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah,
Listen.
Close enough. You know that's how we say hello in limited city prison.
That's how we say hello in prison. Listen, you need to go to hospital, brother.
Yeah. I'm not doing too good.
Paulie, I'll catch you later, dog.
Yeah, you stay safe out there, man.
Later, mater. Right now, chat, you ready? Is my engine gonna work? It is. Oh, I'm not doing so good. Yeah. Oh, I know how to do. I don't know how to do the kiss. I know how to do the handshake. I assume it's in the same synced area. Oof. I'm not doing too good. Yeah, because I nearly killed a guy. Jeez. It's not Britain, but I will sit on this side of the road. I think... There's no way. Let me park in here. I think he just fixed my truck fully. I should have used my oh brother, this guy stinks before. Oh. I don't know. Oh, I don't have a toolkit on me. I think Paulie just fixed my truck fully. For free. Ain't no way. Paint the truck. The truck's painted. It's all yellow. It's yellow. It's orange. For Mater's Motors, you know? Mater Motors. I don't listen, chat. I think I pull off a very good hillbilly voice with this, okay? Especially when I'm talking about mate. Nobody realizes I'm actually British. It's funny. It's yellow and red at the same time. No. Listen, it's purple, okay? It's an inside joke. You're a redneck in another life. See, that's the thing. I was a redneck. I was gonna make a joke that I can't make on Twitch. Disappear. I'm gonna die. It's grey. I'm colorblind. It's grey. The roses are grey. Violets are grey. Everything's grey. I'm colorblind. Help me. Mod, somebody allow it, please. Thank you. Redneck's wife. You were the redneck's wife in a past life? Is that how we met? I thought we met because my drummer had a partner and you were cuter and I liked them more. Roses are red, violets are red, everything's red. I'm on fire. I went to the store, phone was in my pocket, out of nowhere, all the poor lady behind me at the register. Later, mater! Everything is black. I'm blind. Roses are green, violets are green, everything's green. Get out of my swamp. Keep giving me more of these poems, chat. I like your poems. The drunk. I don't want to crash. The last thing I want to do is Paulie repair my... Drew, I can't believe it, right? Paulie fixed my truck up completely free. I think he's like repaired it. When I close my eyes, it's dark. You don't like the dark. Dude, have you loaded up GTA 5 recently? Car headlights don't even emit light. Huh? Huh? What do you mean? Roses are orange, grass is orange, I'm a ginger. I mean, I don't think gingers see in just ginger. 2 or 3 across. But my engine's repaired though. Do I need to go to a garage to do that? Because if so, then I've screwed myself. Stop, I'm ginger. You, darling, you're not ginger. The light coming off your headlights is a freaking... Oh, wait, it's not a GTA thing. That is nuts. You have a kit? I don't have a kit on me. How's the drive on this interstate? FT, brother. So far, so good. My engine did nearly blow up on me, though. It did light on fire. But we're all good now. One of our friends came over. Lol, the self-censorship. I'm too used to it, you know. I just killed a deer. Just gonna park her up there. Later, Gator. Later, Mater. Do not blow up. Have a king inspect. Yeah, I know. Right, we've got it. There we go. Also, so your engine is engulfed in flames. That is a hideous joke, and you know it, FT. But I love it. Freaking love it. Animal cruelty on stream. Listen, don't smoke. Yes, I'll impound. I was going to impound it anyway. I wasn't going to repair it. I was just going to straight up just impound your vehicle. It's a damaged wheel. I'll take a damaged wheel. I've got wheels I do need to get rid of, to be fair. Okay, did not know that. I forgot about that bit. Grab the winch. Hook her up to the truck and all, you know, Jack. Hook her up. Attach. And then run before it kills me. I think I just locked my door. Brother, you haven't towed yet? It's here. Look, I'm towing it. Oof. Right, now let's go back. Wait, have I got to go to... Wait, am I actually going to the place I want to go to? I am. Okay. I've got to take it to Camel Toes. Oh, also, chat, the company for towing shit is called Camel Toes. And I love that name. It's amazing. Doom, doom. Oh, that smile. Doom, doom. Brother, you get side of my way. Do you know this? And all this. I sound like Joe Biden. FM Construction? Huh? FM Construction. My name's Mater. Hey, yo, how you doing, buddy? Later. There's one rule in this server, the main rule above everything, chat, and that is do not break character at all. If you break character, you're banned. The wait time to go into this is crazy. I don't have to wait lately. It seems like I've got priority for some reason. No time. Ban me, I dare you. Why am I going to ban you? I can't ban you. The reason why hey, chat, does anyone want to know the reason why I know Bunny in the first place? You're just lucky? I know. I'm low on fuel. Yeah, I know I'm low on fuel. Work. Yeah, I can... Oh, how many sim met? Sorry, when? I can say it right now. If you're okay with it, I'll drop it now while we're driving. Who wanna waste your time? And honest time. I was lower indicating you. I know. How can you work? Okay, I mean, I'll drop the story. I don't mind. A few years ago, Bunny and I was in a band. My fuel is low. I'm aware. Yeah, I was in a band, and we all know this, but I was a musician. We did some good music stuff, and it was all fun, and we did some good shows and stuff. All nice and fun. She was dating my drummer at the time, and I just kind of wanted her more. So, you know. Yoink. That's how it went. Then we stopped talking for a little while, and now we're back, and it's cool. Time. Time. Jackass! Also, public server queue is less than 120. Wait, is 120? Is it? Is the wireless server bigger? He's the loveliest man. Send him gifts. I am the loveliest man. Give me all of your money. Oh, it's less. That is a game. The same. Oh, your PC barely handles popular service because the amount of people that's on them at the same time, probably. NoPixel would melt your PC then. Yeah, NoPixel is... I mean, look. Look at all of this. This is insane. It's insane. Oh, 168 secure... Not a fan. I am not a... No, I'm not a fan. I'm aware I'm low on fuel. I'm gonna run... Oh, my... Oh, my engine's overheating. Okay. Now we need to stop. Sin City, bitch. Sin City, bitch. 10 cents, 20 on your... Right. We need to wait. Chat, somebody hydrate me. You may as well just hydrate me while we're waiting. We've got to wait for this engine to stop overheating a little bit. Dropping frames like crazy. Oh, I can see. I'm gonna stand here. I can see my encoder got overloaded. Too much went on it too fast.
Water. Become moist.
I always forget that one's in there, bruv. I do. Because you have red hair, Adam. That's why. Literally breathe. Hey, Red. How you doing? Drink water. Become moist. That's how we do it in Sin City. Stop drinking. Huh? Why? I needed a drink. That's why. People hydrated me. Go to Camel, get the kit, you know. Can't do a roadside without a kit. No, I need to wait for the engine to cool down. Look, if you look over the gear, I'm about to ignite again. So I kind of just need to hope I get there as fast as possible. Down. Not Mountain Dew. Water. I don't have water. I bought a load of water and drank it too fast. So I actually bought like Iron Brew. Da la 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 la. I bought Iron Brew, Fanta, and Mountain Dew. It's just things I haven't had in a long time. Imagine someone comes here for the British tag and finds out it's a redneck. Your mum's a fanny, your dad's a fanny, and someday you'll be a fanny too. I love the Iron Brew advertisement. It's funny. What the shit? Okay. I'm dropping frames like crazy in this. I just don't want to set on fire. There's Paulie. Okay, Paulie's in the dark. That's fine. Your Darcel's Avon. My engine's died. Well, that seems to be a bit of a pickle. My engine seems to have died inside here. Hey, yo, buddy, you mind giving me a push? Shit, my engine's burnt. My God, I'm broken down. You mind giving me a push? Shit, oh. Cheers, buddy. Thank you. Okay, now I need to figure out how I can get it to the impound. I need to buy some repair kits first. Nope, nope, lock. There we go, now it's locked.
Fucking delicious.
It's Paulie. Right, open your shop, dickhead. What have you got for me? A toolkit. I just want 5. Sure, give me 5. I don't have cash. It won't do it. Shit, I need to go to the ATM now. AK Rebel incoming. Don't say that, bro. I know. Wait, no. I know someone that does 2 actuals for 2,800 right now. Let me over to the ATM. The name's Jack. Well, damn, he fine. He fine. Look at it. The ATM's in use. Let me use it. That's what I'm saying. Gosh darn it, it's a Heckham's chat. Oh, buddy, I'm Richams. 9,600. Make that my real bank right now, you know? Alright, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5% ATM fee. Jesus fucking Christ, these ATMs rocking me up like a dough seed in a fire hose, you know? There we go. Alright, retrieve my card. Let's go buy some shit. You can get it to across the 2.8k. Uh-huh. Why are you dropping frames so much? I don't know. This is the first time I've ever played this game on stream, so we're learning together. Oh, I am. Okay, please, just continue what you were doing, my friendo. Let's put the music on a little bit. C'est la vie, you wanna waste more time. Give me 5. No, that's 6. Give me 5. C'est la vie. Why does Tom remind me of Chilled Chaos? He looks drunk. Who's Tom? I think that's Paulie fixing it again. What's in this guy's trunk? There's nothing in there. I would have robbed it. Hey, Paulie!
Hey, what do you keep fucking your truck off for?
It's not. My engine needs a chew across. That's the problem.
Oh, damn, that's a lot of fucking money.
There's a girl in town. Her name's Jackie. I don't know where she is. However, she does a chew across for 2,800.
That's a good deal.
I know,
is she
right?
with the pit stop?
I'm not too sure. There was a guy here yesterday, so I just need to keep asking people if they know Jackie or not.
Oh, I know the pit stop up there does a one across for 1,300. They might, you know, they do it 2,600.
I feel like I need to. Well, so gee, I don't know. I was gonna go to Mosley's, where I don't think they got any of the stuff.
Is Jackie a babe? Is that why you're trying to hit up Jackie? Jackie's a fucking babe or something?
I'm not. Listen, you know me. I just help people out with whoever they are. You know this, Paulie.
Yeah. I thought I figured that this thing's still smoking.
Yeah, she kind of hot though. That's old Bessie for you. Let me turn this truck off very quickly.
This thing's fucked. I'm looking at the engine right now.
Oh wait, what? Wait. Actually, let me see.
Man, you need like a 3 across, I swear.
Don't say that. Let's see. What do I need? Oh lord. Oh boy, she's so fucked.
God damn.
Oh, that is naughty.
Yeah, if there's somebody on for the pit stop, that might be a best bet, because this thing needs some attention real soon.
Oh, I need to... Chat, I need to sit back.
Well, there's your problem right there. You keep hitting all these hookers all the time, man. You gotta watch out for them hookers.
Listen, sometimes I just feel like they're looking at me kind of funny. I'm like, hey, look, I'm a married man. You can't be looking at me like that. And so I just hit them with the car, you know, and next thing you know, boom.
Are you sure they just don't have a lazy eye or something?
Maybe, but they were looking at me both sides, and I'm just, well, to be fair, I was coming at them 60 miles an hour. They didn't have a choice.
God damn. This thing just eating my toolkits.
Bye, bunny. Jackass. Oh, brother, I'm telling you, I feel like I need... Let me impound this here car, and then I'm going to try to take it down to... Jesus fucking Christ, I don't even know. It's going to wipe me out.
Damn, you broke again?
Brother, Times be tough, you know. Where are we paying all our staff? We need to get things going, and this kind of shit happens all the time. I'm running like 9.8k. It's gonna wipe me out, chat.
God damn. Maybe I sell some of that senior bun stock.
Gee, you know what? You are a genius. Let me say. What's my stock at? I got $1,000 there. I may as well sell it now.
Yeah, I just threw like $4,000 in the senior buns. Hoping it returns to me pretty good.
There
I'm
we
gonna
go.
post on Twitter, see if anyone from Pit Stop's around.
Jeez, chat, we are being ruined today. I know he can't hear me just yet. Just want to see you.
I'm gonna go grab some toolkits quick.
Sure thing, buddy. How are we doing? Right. We should be good. There we go. I need to wait for Paulie to get back now, so I just have to sit and wait for a second.
Hey, whose fucking car is this? You know whose fucking car that is in the middle of the
Oh,
parking
jeez.
lot in everyone's fucking way?
No, but what I will say is they left it open and someone's already ransacked it.
Damn.
Let me take this car off the back before it gets me in trouble. Hi,
Might as well
Kieran.
pull this fucker straight out the lot.
That's what, where the fuck am I walking to?
Mayday, you gotta lay off the meth, buddy.
But it tastes so good. Oh, brother, my doors are fucked.
Did you lock it?
Oh, there we go.
That's what I'm saying, man. That meth is screwing your brain.
Okay, never mind. It seems to be okay, I'm broken.
Oh no.
Hey, Lion, how you doing, bro? Welcome, Sin. Right, let's turn the music off so I can focus on this one. Apparently, chat, we're gonna be screwed. Oh, chat. What a day to be Meta. What a way to introduce you all, okay? I got too much Mountain Dew. I'm gonna have such a sugar rush later. That's the problem. Oh, my buddy. In 2 days, 2.25.
Yeah, I don't think you need this in here. This belt don't do shit.
Are you sure? I put it there from my own pan line.
It says fully repaired now. It doesn't look like it's smoking anymore. Give her a go.
Let's see if she runs. Hopefully. Thanks for the hydrate, Adam. Here we go. We get in. Please don't die. I'm gonna do this quickly. Okay. Oh, that might not even work. I might have just fucked it as well. Nope, we're good. And that's how you impound. And now we finally have a tow job done. You guys want tow jobs? And I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. I'm loving it like this. Now we're open. Right, I need to park her up. I'm gonna just park her up real quick. Let's go here. Please, please, please. Just allow me to park. There we go. And we're good. We are 17 minutes into the stream, and we are a 2-to-1 ratio of being saved by Paul and completing jobs. What can I say?
I fucking hate these tire jobs, man.
Brother, I got some in my trunk if you want some. You've helped me out too much today, Paul.
Yeah, sure. I'll take the materials
Yo,
from
Mr.
it.
Tate.
Hey, yo, what up, brother?
Damn, is that the Devil Wears Prada?
You fucked my truck up, man.
Hear me?
Yeah, you just drove over it.
Oh, wait. I feel like you need to, sometimes... Hey, Paulie, how do I explain that sometimes not everything is as it seems?
Yeah, I'll get you, man. Do you have our picket?
I do, actually, yeah. Here.
Everything is not always as it seems.
I remember seeing that on Wizards of Waverly Place.
Yeah, you just got good tires back there. You don't have any,
No,
shitty tires.
listen, I mean, you just take some good tires if you need them.
Oh, no, I got plenty.
Oh, fair enough. There is
I'm
one.
just trying to crush this bitch real quick.
Oh, listen, there is
fucking
one
heavy.
damaged one here, though, but you can have it. It's about to be broken up anyway. I think I've got one there. This
I'm not
tomato is a
seeing it.
little green. Open.
Oh, at least it keeps me strong carrying these fucking things.
Oh, it's actually gone. Oh, wait, is that Gunter?
Holy shit!
Holy guacamole!
That thing about fucking crushed us, Jesus.
Looking like we're impounded now, brother. Just you and I think Gunter's just got on, chat.
With like the police. Holy shit.
Whoa, he looks just like Gunter. Bro, he's wearing your outfit as well. Look. Hey, brother. What's your name?
I'm Marv. How about yourself?
Listen, Marv, I just want to say you look completely identical to my to my brother, Gunner.
Oh, that's awesome.
Brother, it is uncanny how you even dress the same.
Is this truck purple or blue? I can't tell in the dark.
Bro,
I
it's...
should take my
It's
shades
a
off.
mixture.
Oh, okay.
Hey, yo, Paulie, don't he look like Gunner?
A little bit, yeah.
What? Hey, yo,
He
do
needs to.
you mind
He
getting
needs
out the
to get a new
truck?
shirt. That shit's all torn
I have
up.
to make some money, buddy.
Oh, that's okay, but listen.
Shirt's all torn up, buddy.
Yeah. Damn, that's meta.
Your shirt, it looks all torn up. You need to get a new one.
You should get a new shirt. It's ripping.
I lost my hat as well.
Bro, that is such a shame, brother.
Tried to hide my helm.
Damn, bro. Hey, yo, that is nuts. And he looks it. Alright, gonna be able to put together. You better. He's Gunther was built differently, they say in the streets. Allow me to climb on my truck, please. Oof.
Fella said he didn't leave his socks on. I had to get away from that.
Yeah, brother, what you saying? He trying to kiss you without your socks on? That's we can't be doing that, you know.
Yeah, I asked him if he waxed his head to keep it nice and shiny, and he was like, "Oh yeah, my buddy does it." And then I was like,
Socks
"Oh,
on
your
or
buddy,
off?
huh? Do you leave your socks on?" And he said no. So I was like, "Oh."
Cannot be entertaining with that kind of nonsense. It can only be a friendship if their socks are on. These streets
Yeah,
are cold.
that's what I'm saying.
They are
I
very
always
cold
left
now.
my socks on in prison.
We can't take our socks off in public either. It's against the Bible, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, chat, I need to go.
You know,
Freaking hell.
matriarchal Mormonism isn't so much like that. Sometimes we are allowed to take our socks off at like the park when we run around in the grass together with our brother husbands. But when we're in the bedroom, we put the socks back on.
We always have the socks on, brother. Let's look at Paul. Is pit stop open? It will be in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, look. It looks like pit stop's going to be open in 10.
Hell yeah. That's where you should go. They're a couple $100 cheaper.
A couple hundred, still a couple thousand in it, though, brother. Jesus
You got the
Christ.
2600 to cover? Or
Oh,
do you get a little
yeah.
swap?
I've got the 26.
Oh, good.
Damn, so, where about is pit? In fact, wait. Let me try
It's up in
jumping the truck.
Sandy. It's the lower gas station in Sandy.
Oh,
Maybe I'll hop
Jesus.
in and I'll put it on your GPS.
Cheers, brother. Oh, chat. The fact that I've got to go to Sandy.
What the fuck? Again.
That's what I'm saying, brother.
There we go.
I've got to go to Sandy. Oh. I'm kind of hoping that he means Sandy as in Sandy, which is like a block away magically, I think.
Is it marked for you?
No, sir.
Oh, it's not marking on the GPS. Yeah, let me see if I get rid of my old one, if it'll work.
Sandy, 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 Sandy.
Yeah, I guess my GPS is broken, but if you open your map and you see how there's 2 gas stations in Sandy.
Oh, wait, hold on. Do that one. Try one more time. I had my mark on because I'm stupid. There,
Yeah,
there we
It worked that
go.
time. Yeah,
I'm a
that's where it's
dickhead.
at.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, they'll do it for 2600 for you.
Listen, Paulie, I'm gonna try to get this down there beforehand. I'm about to die on fuel as well.
Oh shit, yeah, you go fill up and head out there. Give me a call later, alright?
I will do, Paulie. Later, dog.
Yeah, have a good night.
He didn't say later, mate, to chat. Does a bit. Okay. Right, let's hopefully, let's just run and get some fuel before, one, my encoder doesn't kill me. I'm about to, okay, there we go. Okay, the truck just doesn't want to drive either. Oh, it's driving itself. That's a strange one. Later, later. It's strange. Oh, chat, it's driving itself. This is an unfortunate turn of event. It's also lagging like crazy, and I don't want the stream to end up dropping because of it. Which might mean, not completely. Now we know how Mate's engine got forked. It is because the car drives itself. It does this every now and again. I don't trust myself going inside this this gas station while it's driving itself. I don't trust. Jesus Christ, it just did not want me to do that. Right, let's quickly just change to the music. Shall we have something playing, you know? We do to love. They've taken down. This encoder is just not. I might have to lower some stream settings next time I try to do this. Why are you trying to... My guy. Self-serve. Start refueling. And that's how we do it. Oh my lord. Lower your texture budget on GTA. Yeah. I'm thinking I'm going to be doing that, but I won't be doing that until I need to sleep anyway. Sleep. Chat, when you're leaving the game, if you're leaving the server, you say you're going to sleep. It's just a way of keeping the lore alive, I guess. I don't know. What do we do for love? What do we do for love? When everything's said and done. Oh my god, it takes a while. Chat, how's your day going? Yeah, we do for love. Everything's said and done. In fact, I want to see what people's opinions are on Meta. If this is something you'd really want me to do anyway, or if it's something that you're like, you know, after first stream, are you really into it or not? I go, pal, how you doing? Don't look at you like that. No, I will. I just Gucci you. What are you gonna do, chat? I did, but Path, nice to see you, bro. It's been a day. Well, factually, that's true as well. It's actually been a day. And that was hot only for you, bro. Let me put it away. Let me release me. Release. It's been like 3 years. No, bro. I know. Release me, please. Chat, I can't release it. Welp. Looks like I'm leaving with the pump. You donut. By the way, doubles that you got the way. Up it up, if he hits me. I actually don't know when I started following on this account. I don't know when you I don't know. Oh, I'm about to overheat again. Time to do this. It's going to be such a long drive as well. That's going to be like the main problem. True, fair, yeah. It was because we used to play Among Us together, Zine. I don't remember even following him. Pav, it's been like, it was during the very, very first Among Us days, bruv. And I disappeared for a year. Yeah, I disappeared for a year as well. In 23. Boom. In fact, Pav, you and Zine, or well, Failure. Why is the music stopped? Okay. Yeah, so Pav, you and Zine have actually played Among Us together. You two are part of the original Among Us crew that used to play all the time. Boom. I know. I think I followed him on the bartender. You are, in fact, the correct. You are, no, Pav, to be fair, you are. Seeing you in the chat was really nice because it's like you are actually one of like the OGs from back then. Back when Sin was just Sin Detective. Watching without audio like a Chad. It's true though. Also, Red, it's been 2 years. In 3 hours, you need to be the one that comes in and goes forward. So it's 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Twitch don't track the seconds part. Oh, I'm sorry. 3. Wait, let me click on this before I read this. 3, 2, 1, and repair. There's another one. Yeah, and the worst thing is, we will never, we'll never be able to see the moment of Reliver. Listen, we know the moments. We've got the moments between us. Balls. Hi, Dami, welcome back to Balls. This isn't just fun. Among Us 2 will probably be a thing, let's be real. Oh yeah, they've lost relevance massively. Among Us 2, it's going to be like a third person over the shoulder. Ooh, it's going to be like an over the shoulder multiplayer, I reckon. It'll have like first person options as well. Among Us is just boring overfilled, to be honest. Now it is, yeah. I do try to play Among Us with some friends, though. Like, I play Among Us to be with... Please, just engine start. There we go. I play because I have content creator friends who like to do it for their content's sakes. And I'm okay with doing it. I'm okay with being in the content lobbies. It's kind of fun. I can't get a grip of this truck, though. It's driving on its own, and it's low-key sad. Innovation needs to be... yeah, I know. It will be good. People will play it. I reckon they'll have like a month or two, maybe even like 1 quarter that was like a really good performer. Because it's fucked up. Really, though? I think it's a rendering issue, really. My encoder's completely overloaded right now. Next stream, I'll have all of the settings lowered down as well, so it doesn't do this. But for now, we kind of have to just deal with it. I thought it was a rendering issue. Everybody knows it's me on the server. It's kind of funny. I'm just a loner. Pat, bro, I feel that freaking ruthlessly. I mean, I've got a lot of nice friends and stuff. I've got a nice girlfriend. She's cool. Your driving system adds up to... Whoa! Well, that was something. Accelerating, getting stuck when it's sandwiched. Okay, fair. Eyes on the road. That wasn't me. My eyes were on the road, and yet he's just... Jesus. Jesus Christ, brother! I can look at chats as well while I'm driving. Eyes on the chat! It'll work out better, watch. I'm gonna put my... Oh, don't cut me off, bro. Brother, what the fuck are you doing? Bro, you just slammed into my right. What are you doing? You can't turn on that section of the road. Well, you just fucking did, but you just ran me off the road.
Hey, calm your shit, big man.
Alright, it's Clobber. Don't worry. I'm about to go get it repaired fully anyway, dude.
When I cut across, she was not nowhere near. Like,
Oh, no, listen. I know it's complete accidental. Don't worry. I'm not saying you're trying to take me off the road.
Yeah, it was an accident, man.
Yeah. No, listen, don't worry. Listen, I'm going to get myself taken care of. You guys good?
Yeah, I think so.
Listen, you guys take care of yourself, okay?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Fucking G6 drivers, bro. Look how far off the road he took me. Making 3k an hour, forget that guy. I know. But you know, what is this COD? Okay. He really did just go, you know what? You're coming with me, my dude. Towing's the best money right now. I mean, no, towing with us is the best money. Because everybody's into us. Like, everybody likes Mater's Motors. I mean, I'm not going to say Grimes is the best one. They have the buggies. They have the easy make 3k an hour. Yeah, but no. See, I've got a guy that helps me do... I've got a guy that wants me to do G6 with him in tier 3, and it makes about... What, 3.8k an hour? No, 3.8k a job every 20 minutes. Yeah. Well, no, because... The guy that wants me to do T3 G6 with him, he's like, oh yeah, you make about 3.8k every 20 minutes if you get the good jobs. So I'm like, I'm fine with doing that. I'll be down to fool every now and again. But a 3-hour cooldown. Okay, fair. I need to pull over. Na 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 na. another fix. How's life been, Sin? Pav, it's been good. Been busy, which is why that we're coming back to Twitch now. And okay, I beg that people don't just ram into me while I'm on the freeway. Life's been good, busy, which is why you can see like why we're doing why view low, followers dropping. You know, fam, please don't just run me over, you stupid freaking idiots. But you know, life's these stupid freaking locals, bro. Stop and take you see. And upon carry me home. So fucked up. But I can sit here and do it. It kind of breaks character a little bit, but at the same time, I'm just gonna get rammed off the road by a stupid local. Na 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 na. Well, yeah, like as I was saying, just to reiterate, yeah, I'm doing good. Life's good. We're getting back into Twitching and streaming and stuff, playing some games. We're gonna try doing a lot of GTA, Overwatch, some Minecraft, and then some Among Us. Mix them into the match, and I'll try fit it so that the schedule works properly for everything, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm gonna try do some. Oh, I need to get my hand on here. I'm gonna try do some Among Us online and offline. This is amazing. Thanks. I've got a broken bone because of this, dude. Hi, Gabby. How are you? Welcome in. Hey, bro, I've got broken bones from this. What's the hold? Oh my god, these locals are just dumb, brother. Should turn your lights on, bro. They are. My lights be on, bro. They are. They're just. It's because I'm parked. They just keep ramming into me. The locals of this town are freaking stupid. I'm gonna pull my knife out, chat. I'm okay. How are you? I am okay. Thank you for asking. We're here. We're vibing. I'm trying to repair my truck because it's broken down. We're doing some GTA roleplay. And we're chilling. You know, we're just waiting for my truck to repair because it's broken. I chose the wrong day to choose to repair my truck. Should have repaired it before I streamed. But the wait to go on the server was stupid. Okay, listen. Let me pull my knife out real quick. That's my car. Hospital incoming. Well, I've been run over, vehicular accident, and I've got a broken leg. So I need to, first of all, repair my truck. Then I need to go to the hospital. I'm also about to starve to death. I'm very much in what people refer to as the shitter right now, chat. But Gavs, how's life been for you? It's been a day since we've spoken, so I'm curious how you've been. Welcome. All kinds of fucked up. I'm too shaking tails right from fucked up. You know I'm fucked up. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. It's very fucked up, bro. Oh my god. What's your hand to me? Do 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 do. I should park up and go to the grocery store before I even go to these guys. I made it. I did, and I only took. There you go. And I only took 2 repairs, bro. I only took 2 repairs. That's the clothing store. Get me out of here. Groceries, please. That's a bank. This is a convenience store. Thank you. Give me everything. Do you want... Thank you. My lord. Supermarket, no alcohol, smokes, no... And drink... They've got no food. They've got no food, chat. That's upsetting. There is no food. Hopefully there's a food vending machine out here somewhere. I'm begging for it. Is this food? I mean, I'm not gonna complain. You bless me. There's more. Ain't no way. Another G6 bag. Okay, I'm okay with that. I don't complain. And it's just drinks. Shit. They dropped the bags there? Yeah. I ain't complaining, brother. I ain't complaining. I'm about to starve to death. It's locked. Plus me. Right, let's turn that off very quickly. Because I need to have the complete audio. There we go. It says the pit stop. Is there anyone here? Let's lock the trucking. Let's go in and say hi. Maybe they're over here. They are. Hello, is anybody here? I beg. One across is 1300. Oh no, that's my monitor. I just hit my monitor. They said that there's nobody here. They said somebody was gonna be here, but now there's nobody here. Hello, is there somebody over here? What an unfortunate turn of events. My car is just gonna get stuck here. That is a door that cannot be opened. Was that a G6 truck that just disappeared? What the fuck? Hey brother, you know if there's anybody around here? I can't see anybody that's working.
No, I saw the twats. But...
So did I, that's why I'm here, but nobody's showing up. It's been like 10-15 minutes. Chat. I could kill him.
That's weird, isn't it? Everybody's spamming it as well, like.
Yeah, I need me a 2 across or I'm gonna be on my asshole.
I don't think they're even around.
Listen, you guys need a repair kit? Because I got one. I could take a look if you want, just for a little fix.
Yeah, possible.
Let's just do this one.
Cash if you need. I don't even know if there's an ATM here.
May as well fix this given some mechanics don't make shit. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, to be fair, it looks like that he's not really too ruined. It's just... they might just need a little bit of a tune-up, you know. Feel looking good as new, brother.
Nice one, bro. I appreciate you, man.
No problem. Listen, have a good day.
Thank you, man.
Oh, see, this is what we do, chat. We do this for people, right? We are the nice guys. I might have also just robbed some G6 cash, but that's okay. E/sit. Right, let's get Twitter open and let's post in there and say the mechanics need to be somewhere because they are dingleberries. Twitter. Okay. Heck Dax. Heck you guys. Heck into heck. Heck Dion. Heck Dion. What are you doing? The pit stop is open. No, it's not. Let's tweet this out. Pit stop is not open. It seems. Been waiting for 15 minutes. I fixed 2 cars myself. XD. I just heard his Twitter go off. Hey brother, everything okay?
Yeah, sorry about that. I had to go do a turbo swap down at Mosley's.
Oh no, that's good. Are you the mechanic here?
Yeah.
Oh damn. Okay, well I apologize for what I just fucking tweeted out.
Oh, wait, what I miss?
I've fixed 2 people's cars here.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I had to go do a turbo, like, swap over, and I can't do that here, so I had to go all the way down to Mosley's and all the way back up.
Listen, that's okay, but listen, my truck is as, well, it's pretty as close to fucked as you can get. I think I need me a 3 across at this rate. That's gonna cost me on my...
No, just the two.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, that's good news.
100% with the 2.
Oh, buddy, I love you. How much will that cost me?
$2,600.
Oh, I fucking love you, buddy.
It's still, it's like just above a 1 across that size.
I used to do Mosley's or nothing, but right now I've heard that you're the guy to go to.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure about price increase if that's happening at pit stop, but I kind of doubt it. So we should be at a pretty good price consistently.
I know there's a girl called Jack. She's doing a 2 across for 26 right now.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. So same as pit stop.
I think she's staying inside the city though.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good actually.
Jesus Christ, Jet, I'm happy that he was here to save us. Wait, am I facing the wrong way?
Do you know where it is? Hello.
Can I get a repair on my tow truck after you're done with this guy's tow truck?
Let me just wait. I'm facing the wrong chat. No one said I'm facing the wrong way. Let me let me just is that chat? Am I facing the right way now? Is that the right way? Is this the gate? Am I facing the right way? It looks like I'm reading the chat as well when I do that. Do you have an ATM anywhere?
Yeah, straight across Fleeca.
Oh yeah, cheers buddy. I wonder if those guys dropped the no one cares at the moment to focus on Meta. Oh fuck me in the asshole, look at this. I could just take my freaking face cam off if that works. Who the fuck goes around kicking car? What? Yeah, let's see. Do I have my hero craft thing still set up? I do. There you go. You guys don't get to see me now. Let's go to withdrawal. 2600 was it? I think it was 2600, and it's free. It's free, brother. It's free. I really thought that was going to cost me everything I had. Well, let's get this out and give it to him. 26.95. Let's go on the split. Let's go 95 so that I can get that. Boom. I need to keep my cash. Let's go to give. Did you say 2600?
Yep.
Here we go.
Thank you very much.
Right, let's sit on... Let's sit on top. And let's do... Oof! What a day it is to be, Mata. He's about to die of hunger as well, which is going to be really freaking stupid. That's really upsetting. One thing I will say, chat, is I'm debating whether to do face cam off or on if I do GTA streams. Mata down bad? Mata down always, you know? He's always down bad. I don't know if it's more immersion factor if I turn my camera off. It's also better, I kind of guess, for TikToks and shit, you know? These guys were now here. Oh, it's gas as well. Oh wait, you know what we should do?
Oh, where'd you go? Oh, could you unlock the door for me quickly? I'm just gonna jump in.
Yeah, sure thing. There we go, buddy.
And then you should be all good.
Ooh.
I'll just double check quickly as
Yes,
well.
sir.
Yeah, you're 100%. You're good to go.
Oh, buddy, what's your name again?
It's Adam. I'm in the lemon list.
Lemon list Adam. Got it, brother. Listen.
See you later.
Thanks, buddy.
Hello. It's very busy. Give me a sec.
Jesus, chat. Oh, and she runs like it's an engine again. Oh, I love it. Look at this. We should crash just to sink her in. Let's go all the way back down, and let's go down to Camel. And I've got to rotate for that. I might die, that's the problem. If you're gonna do a face cam, do a top left as a spot. It blocks the OOC channel. Oh. What, you mean the dev build in the top right of the screen instead? Because that's not the top. It told me to go this way. I'm going this way. Am I good to do it this way? Can I stop? Okay, I need to stop here now. Oh, it's telling me to, okay, yeah, okay, it's okay. Oh, slash OS, okay, cool. Face cam will matter more when you get more views. I mean, yeah, now look at it. Yeah, if we're talking, if you want to bring up the view factor, then yeah, I'm fully aware that we've taken a tank just by doing this. It's an upsetting, but, you know, it'll change the more, because don't forget, this is the first day back fully, right? This is the first day back fully being seen. My full-time schedule is now back, so things are, the return was obviously going to be a pop-in stream, but now we're back, so now people have seen me, they've got their fix, they could just be disappearing now and just showing in whenever they need. Hopefully we just get the retention back, you know? Okay, but I mean, I'll do top left. I might switch monitors for OBS as well. I might do OBS on this monitor and do my game on that one. To be expected in its time slot, any whitelist put you in serious competition. Oh, so you're saying it needs to... and what's the point? Yeah, but then with that saying though, what's the point in streaming it though? You know? If it's too overcrowded, then... Oh my god, I nearly swerved off. Public versus whitelist, but it doesn't matter. It's still just GTA, isn't it? At the end of the day. It's just who you're streaming with. There you go, I'll put this one in. Like, if it's so surrounded and drowned out by competition, then what's the point in streaming it anyway? I mean, you might just go, oh yeah, but it's all about whether you're on public or whitelist. It just depends who you bump into. You've got to bump into a streamer when you're on whitelist if you want anything good. Yeah, I know who you're streaming with. I get that much, but then you've got to bank on somebody else being on whitelist at the same time. Plus, I also am a strong believer that if it's going to be GTA whitelist, then the chat need to be into it as well. Because what's the point in putting down to get into the whitelist server if nobody's going to be interested in it? It's a bad investment then at that point. I also like classical music. I'm gonna put lo-fi on instead. It's a more streamy vibe, you know. We're driving. Boo, 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 boo. The point, what was it? The point was that the community is watching Whitelist at this moment. That's all. They're just watching Whitelist. It's a fun one though, isn't it? Because returning to stream, I get it. I know that there's gonna be hurdles coming back to Twitch. You know, like the viewership and everything. We're coming back. We may as well have just started again. Oh my god, I was in a happier headspace when I started off the first time, because now it's just miserable knowing that everybody's left. You know? But then again, I also just can't expect myself to disappear for over a year and then come back to everybody being here. But this is very docile content though. It is just kind of like sit back, relax, and just watch what's going on. Especially when my encoder's overloading. That's kind of a bummer. But like I said, that one could be fixed over the next stream. I can't believe you managed to get us to 100% with a 2 across. Okay, now that was a lot. That's a lot of... This server at times really does just lag though, bro. The Southside Murders, you hard insane, huh? Oh, Murders You Hard. Oh, yeah, I know. Right, now let's get this parked away. I need to go to, need to go to sleep, I think. Jeez, I'm gonna die soon. I'm about to die of hunger is what I'm saying. I need to go inside to the break room and grab myself something to eat. Oh. Okay. Right, lock my car. Park it, please, because you're making my my game cry. It's really not having a good time doing this. I need everything to change. I can't put my car away. Okay. You can just lock. Grand Theft Auto, bro. You're 10 years old and yet I can't put the knife away. Whoa. Careful there, buddy. Freaking day jobbers. Right, let's go inside. I feel like I need to sleep this off.
Sound. Mike says he makes $5 grand a night. Is that true?
Yeah.
That's mad. Fucking hell, look how many people doing it.
There is a lot of people doing towing right now as well, chat. Okay. Let's recoup, right? Let's call it a sleep here, because it's evident that I can't operate at full with the settings that I've got on the game, and it'll just kick me out if I lower them more massively. I also don't want to crash stream, because that'll be kind of poop. So I'm going to move it to here. We're going to move here now. Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier. I'm going to turn off and just say goodnight to Los Santos for today. Not done with stream, but at least done with Tomato for today. It won't let me leave the freaking game either. Oh my god, I'm being drowned. Exit game, please. You're gonna kill me. Leave the game. And then we should be good in a second when I move my thing over to this side and hopefully don't die. Thank on. And here we go. Can I just move this out a little bit though? Here we go. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. I did not realize. Okay, well, to be fair, Zine, you are right. Oh, what are we going to? I'm going to do it just chatting for a couple of minutes. I'm gonna ping Discord and be like, come in. What I'm gonna do, Zine, do you reckon you could get do you reckon you could get some of the crew to? I want to start getting people to lurk as well, heavily though. I'm gonna switch everything around so that we can look properly, and there we go, and I'm back. Time to ping everyone. Be like, hey yo, we're doing just chatting. Just chatting, maybe some more gaming. For the human anyway. There we go. Only human anyway. What did Adam? What the fuck did you just say to me, you little shit? That is gross. Oh, I need to turn music up as well. Okay, right. So in terms of what are we gonna do right now, I'm not too sure. You know, I was planning on playing NoPixel for a lot longer. The only downside was, let me change it onto just chatting. The only reason why I'm going off it is just because, well, you've seen my encoder's just crying about it. Anyway. Like one. I don't know what to put as a just chatting title anymore. What do we even do for that? Chatting with the coolest cats around. And gaming? And a ground. We were young, oh, we were fine. We were dancing in the dark. Chat, inspiration of games, right? That's what we should be talking about. Okay? What is the inspiration? Is it Overwatch grind? Is it Minecraft server? Is it Poggy Woggies? On my mind, on my Cooking Mama. Cooking Mama was a banger game. I do not care. Cooking Mama was the shit. It was the creme de la fresh, you know. What to do? I'm begging you. Right, let's check that. I do still like the idea of doing Overwatch, and I'm not banned anymore. Princess, that's a terrible thing that you can say inside of my Discord server. You guys are just, the thing is, I don't want to be disentertaining. Oh, don't do that, camera. Jesus Christ, that's not what I need. So, I don't want to be disentertaining, right? So, what do we do if we're not playing NoPixel? Or is it Overwatch or is it Minecraft is the question we should be asking. Right? Because I am not going to be moving on to something like Roblox. Fuck all that noise. That's Magic the Gathering. I'm not playing Arena on stream. That's for the second channel to do. But we will still play. Like, there is no doubt that I'm not going to play NoPixel. I'll still be playing NoPixel all the time. It's just like, what's the other game? Roblox, I will not do. Magic the Gathering. I will not. I refuse to play Roblox. In fact, you know what? You'd have to kidnap my family before I ever played Roblox. Even then, I'd be like, sayonara, it was nice knowing you kids. Minecraft before Roblox. I still like Minecraft, okay? I was playing Minecraft. I've been making... I made a house on one of my servers right now that I've been doing. It's modded. It's the farm. Well, no. Oh, wait. Yeah, it is. That's not just me saying farmers dialect. It's actually... It's the farm mod pack by Fiercely, Abe, and I think it's Me Young that's done it as well. I might be wrong. But it's a nice little mod pack. It's got it's a lot of it's like technology based though, and I'm kind of bored of just putting in random technologies. I like expansion. I like new bosses. I like new dimensions. It's like Minecraft is good. Stop putting things into one dimension. Just give us more things to fight. You know, like, you know, custom mob bosses would be great. But people just don't want it. I'm also hungry. Jeez, I didn't even think about that. What did I have for my dinner? Welcome to the brain of ADHD, chat. Krenko mob boss. I did not have Krenko for my dinner. That is within complete violation of... See? Minecraft needs more things to bring people together. It's just, you know, where's the bring me to life by Evanescence factor of Minecraft, you know? What's gonna make me want to go, you know what, I want to play Minecraft right now. You know, I think what I'll probably what I will probably be doing is Monday. Oh my god, Sophie texted me yawn earlier and now I can't stop yawning. What I will say is Mondays I'll see if Jay will continuously list me in his lobby because I kind of enjoy playing with them. It does need a phone. You are right. I'm gonna talk to Jay and see if he'll make me like an actual member of his lobby lists. So I'm gonna make oh, Jesus Christ, I just brain fog. I'm gonna make Jay make me a non-about. I'm misfunctioning, chat. Oh Lord. Oh, is this what rock bottom feels like? Because I'm hitting it. I'm gonna talk to Jay Fletcher, and I'm gonna say, "Hey Jay, put me into your lobbies every week, because I enjoy them, or I'll at least sign up for them, and then we'll get into more. And that means I'll be going live on Mondays at 6 p.m. rather than 9 p.m. That means that we're gonna go live earlier. It means I'll probably be eating on stream. I'm not gonna lie, chat, but." So that's probably what's going to happen on Mondays. So we might have earlier streams on Mondays, not be like monkeys and stuff. I still don't mind doing community modded. Okay? I don't mind doing community modded. Tom Fletcher is the guy in McFly. That's... Factually, you're correct, Adam. That's the most realistic thing you've said ever. Let me see. There we go. Ad break has ended. Hey guys, welcome back. If you were in an ad break, shut up. Welcome back. Give me those pennies from ads. I don't. It is what it is. Today's I feel like the justification's just gonna be it's just gonna be a rough patch of just coming back, chat, and just, you know, just streaming and getting used to doing everything again. Everything's different. Isn't Marty McFly the guy from McFly though? I was there for that. Yes. I agree, Zine. That's the main. So in fact, you know what? To be fair, Zine, I can mention this on stream anyway. So Zine is messaging me privately, and it's like talking some things over, and I do agree with it. There is one thing that I will say. The main thing that kind of threw off the vibe, I'd say, is one, encoder issues. I'll fix all of that for the next stream. But this is why we've got to do it the way that we are. We've just got to work things through, trial and error, see how things work. Throw shit at the wall, hope it sticks. So, but the second thing is flying solo. I got in the queue straight away for NoPixel. However, Drew and Zine, they both didn't manage to get. They're both still in the queue and probably not going to get in the queue for the rest of the night, to be fair. Which is obviously it's gonna put a dampener on the stream because I haven't got my other buddies who I normally roll with, and that's where most of the content comes from. I have people to jump off. People who've watched my streams for as long as time goes, you'll all know I like having people that I can jump off. It's easier to bounce off people for humor, especially when I have the kind of humor that works best bouncing off people. And then I also get that when I go live is the whitelist's dominant viewing domain. But yeah, I know there's a lot of shit that went against streaming this right now. I just don't think that's it. I just don't think I'm also just hungry. I think that's gonna be like the one thing that's my main issue. Run by run, run by run. Let's see. You know what? I don't think we could do. Do we do another game now? Do we? Chat. Do we? Let's see. Who's still live that I know of? Okay. We could try Overwatch. We could. Do I attempt to try? I mean, you know, if there's ever a time to test out a game on stream, it should be Overwatch. Who knows? Oh no, my game needs updates. Never mind, that's a sign from the gods. I've just got ruined in so fast. Super Mario Bros. DS, but the poker minigame. Specifically just poker. You know what? Let's just join Kick and let's just do poker instead. I tried to load up Overwatch and it went, haha, no. Load up again. I'm going to force it to. I'm just going to make it load. It's going to load. It will do it. Gambling streams all the way. I make the viewers give me money and I gamble their money and duplicate it and then give them a percentage back. That would be a funny ass stream. I mean, I'm not gonna do it. That's never gonna happen. But that's a funny concept. You give me money with the risk of it getting taken away and, you know, losing it. Or I win the money and give you your money back with a percent. Like I give you some money for it and be like, thank you for your donation. Here's some returns. Ponzi scheme. By the light. Wait, so I know you, don't I? Like we've met before. Let me sign into Overwatch. Let me see how you're gonna work now. Doom. This. Please don't dox my actual. Yes, okay. I feel like I know who you are then. I'm over the orange binder. I know who you are. And there's no place that we the place where we met is no longer there, right? I feel like I'm on the right track. Bum 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 bum. Dabba 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 bum 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 bum. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I know who you are. That's funny though. It's nice to see you, bro. Nice to see you too. I know, it's nice to see you. I'm glad to have you hanging around here. I want to see. That's a funny thing that I've just got seen. Let me change the tags and shit. Let's go on to. Let's go to Overwatch too. T500. Fine then. And then we go here. We go to Overwatch. Right, what scene should I use for this one? I feel like this one might be the right one. Oh, wait. Boy. It's not going to load because it's not in full screen. It will only load games that are on full screen for some reason. Bam. I just don't, oh, that's what it does if I do it like that. Can I, that's gross. Okay, it's going full screen then. Hey Adam, this is what we do. Where's my... I can't hear that at all. Oh, I can. It's just hella freaking quiet. Let's turn it all up then, I guess. Screw my ears. This'll be strange to do. Okay, that's good. The world is freaking out on me right now. I have a purple binder. I have a purple blinder. Does that count? Oh my god. Encoder everything. Oh no, don't let me leave. Let me leave. Right, let's go. Oh, it's been a while since I've done this. Where the fuck did she go? Oh my god, the worst part is... There you are. Do I have to solo tank these guys? Right, there you are. I feel like I'm gonna have people that's complaining about I need to move this. Right. The game is not... There it is. Hi, Becca. It's great to be back. I'm glad to be back. I am. I'm not even gonna lie. I've missed everything. I've missed everything about streaming and just being around everybody who I loved. How have you been? Welcome, Sin. Hope you're having a good time. Adam, you know who this guy is, by the way. Oh my lord. I just got tapped to Goblin, if you get what I mean. I also just need to turn this... Why is it... Oh, it's the music. I've turned the music down on my... It's because I'm still using browser Spotify chat. Oh, I'm such a loser. I'm such... Right, what's my stats? I need to do better stats. It's the warm-up first time I played in like 2 weeks, chat. Let me be. Prin, if you're here, by the way, don't judge me, please. There you go. Just move, just move, just move, just move, just move, just move, just move. There we go. I'm so dead here, I think. No, I'm not. I'm gonna do... Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. That's good. Keep it on me. Keep it on me. Keep it on me. We've definitely... You guys have definitely played, by the way. Lovely. This was one of my favorite songs ever at one point. It's the saxophone solo that does it for me. I'm doing good. Back from volunteer not long ago. You came in still. Well, you listen back. I'm really happy to have you here. Okay? I will always be happy to have you in here. How is volunteering going? What's your volunteering covering? If you don't mind me asking. If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. You can always DM me instead. Okay, we need to just keep pushing. Okay, never mind. Oh, I'm so fucked. Yeah, I'm fucked. That was close, but oh well. I felt like I could have kind of just jimmied my way around it. Elamaro, oh, I've played with freaking Elamaro as well. It's weird because like the EU servers just... We always get the same players. Like we will always see... It doesn't matter how long you've not been playing for. You'll always see the same players. Oh, shut up, Bonnie. Okay, I'm just on my own. Oh no, I'm bringing it back to these. That's good. That's fine. I'm okay with doing that. Missing him. I always miss you, darling. Alright, there we go, there we go, there we go. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Jason Derulo! Okay, stay outside, you moron. Please, 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 please. I've been struggling without you. That's not true. Oh, I look at chat and I get friggin' dumped on. Life from Banana Side. Is it cam left, maybe? I might do this instead. I struggle without my team in general, right? And also, it's the first game back, chat. You've got to allow me. Okay, I should just take the long route. Get over there, get over there, get over there, get over there. Alright, this infinitely better camera angle. Thank you. Okay. Listen, I can only fix what people ask me to change. Do. He's gonna be dead. He's so dead. He's so dead. Oh, he's so dead. I love it. I love it, chat. I love it. Doesn't have his diva on him. Why is that diva constantly on a flank? Bro, listen, that diva wants to be a support character more than anything. My back is hurting from carrying, but also my back's just hurting in general. Chat, in terms of volume and like audio levels, does anyone need anything changing? Because my monitor, I can't really hear it until I fix Spotify properly. He's behind us, I know he is. Should be Widow instead. You should be. You're actually a good Widow, by the way. Get out of my sight. I'm just gonna focus on getting rid. I'm gonna focus the pack for now. What are you gonna do? 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 You dickhead. Thank you, Dad. Am I your father? Look at me. I am the daddy man. Oh lord, oh lord, oh lord, oh lord! I'm dead. I'm so dead. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Why does Moira have that range? Because it's Moira. Everything feels good when I'm used to screaming Marshall. Oh, okay. You're used to screaming at Marshall amps. True. Okay, but all of the noises are good then. All of it is good noise. Moira's got insane range. I don't even know what it is. Like, oh, I don't need healing. That's not the problem. What's my stats like? 6 and that's fine. For first game back after like 2 Sin Dad. I am Dad Sin. No, it's Sin Daddy chat. Oh lord. I don't need to focus on healing. They don't need the healing side of it. They don't need healing. They don't need healing. I need healing. Never mind. I'm gonna get rid of this. There's one. This is gonna be easy. This whoever gets this kill, by the way, it's gonna be shit. Yeah, whoever if everybody got all of those kills, by the way, it would. Oh, that was Northy. You're dead as well. Turning around. Yep, good. I was gonna say it's gonna get the game-winning kill. It is bedtime, Tory Chief. This GG. Easy, baby. I hate saying easy in chat. What was the final stats? 1355, 739, and 769. Good. I liked it. How? Diva, really? Adam? No, Dadum. Sin Daddy, 1, 2, 3. That's me, okay. How is this where it was? I got endorsed. Let's go. Look at this. Who do we endorse? We always endorse these two. Never a Reaper or a Meg, because they're just awkward characters to begin with. Tell me why you like Diva for real. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like playing against the Diva because she very much counters Moira. So if you've got a good Diva on you, then against the Moira, then you're screwed, basically. That should be fine now, I think. Well, I mean, for instance, you do whatever the robot equivalent of a furry is. That's a Rissa, and you know it. Like that, a Rissa mains, bro. Why? Why do they even exist? I got the video that's in. You got... Fair. Huh? Some of your hero customization is unavailable in this instance. What do you mean? Speedy in your... Oh, wow. Okay.
Make your preparations. Careful research.
Hello, soldier.
If you can outthink your opponent, it's easy to outfight them.
Just gonna turn it down on my... Okay. I know I realistically need to run, but I need to get... There we go, that's better. That's so much better for me. Now, I can hear the game so much louder, but that is so loud. Let me turn it down a little bit. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Spear meeting. What is that? You look... I think you're the one that loves Arista, to be honest. Pull me in, pull me in, pull me in. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Oh, good pull! A Life Weaver that does... Oh, no. A Life Weaver that does well? Are you mad? Want to play with me on Overwatch tomorrow? Yes, Bunny. Yes, of course. That'll be fun. If you want to play, that is. I get that in the room. She should move forward. Yes. Okay. No. Oh, no. Okay, never mind. I scuffed it. I sorted a few things out. Lovely. Okay. I definitely know who you are. Yes, you definitely do. You definitely know who Taffa Goblins is, by the way.
Evolution is a painful path to
that is if Taffa Goblins wants to say the name. Sin Daddy and Bunny, let's go. I mean, if you want to be... Wait, actually, Adam, when are you back again? Is it Friday? Everybody gets on. Oh, my lord. Oh, my lord. I need to get out of the room. The defender of the bunny. Should be Friday, yeah. Okay. If you can hold in your breath, do you want to do Overwatch on my stream on Friday?
I've dealt with
I want to see if I can get together like a decent time where I can stream games and have them scheduled of like which day is which game. Shit, that is not the right thing to do. Yep, that was not the thing to do. Because then we could also have Bunny as Widow. Because, listen, Bunny's been slapping that Widow. And jeez. It was a bad move for me to do that push anyway, but... Boo thing, boo boo thing, boo 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 thing. Oh lord. Right, this should be Zen popping, force Zen to pop his ult. Yep, told you. Such a predictable Zen. Oh, I'm asleep. Okay, never mind. We're good D.Va too. You are a good D.Va. To be fair, actually, Adam as well. You can also just go DPS at times or healer. And then you two can just switch up between tank. Well, you can just switch your roles as role switch. You know what I mean? Is that melody? Ouch, I got hurt. Damn it, I got hit by Bob. I didn't know where it was sent out. Happy with any role? I'm okay with any role. I prefer not to do tank because Adam's a backseat tank. Which, rightfully so. He's probably the best tank I've played with. Well, I think you're the best Reinhardt I've played with. Just because you understand the character's metric left, right, center, and in reverse. Where are you? Are they all above? Oh my god. And look at that. Look, they... Thanks. They failed to play... And they've gone Orisa straight away. I'm going to bully this Orisa. Straight after I bully this Zen. There we go. He should be dead. Oh, he's so close to being dead. But well, oh, listen, Ty, I know, bro. I know. It's just... They had different plans is all I'm saying. Let me just, There you go. That should be a little bit better as well. I'm playing with actual donuts. 1 in 60. I think it's Bunny's bedtime. Let me focus on the fact that my DPS are actual dogs. What is? Look at these stats, bruv. That is insane.
Progress is seldom won with ease.
I thought we were doing good as a team. Since it's just me. I mean, to be fair, no, our tank and I are doing all of God's work, it seems. Bunny, if you gotta go to bed, I understand, darling. Bear with. And where can I run to? That was just not the play, I guess. I can play any role too. I'm just hitting people with a hammer. He does just like hitting people with a hammer, to be fair, chat. I'm just gonna get in here and kind of deal damage. There we go. Send that off. You're Poundland Thor. My name is Poundland Thor. My name is Boar. My name is Door. I'm so dead here. I'm dead here. I'm dead here. I'm dead here. I'm not dead here. I'm not dead though. Okay, just don't jump on the health pad, you moron. Got you. Going around. Where are you? Oh my god, and I'm so sorry. Good, good, good. Oh my god, that was close. That was the wrong button. Thank you. Okay, this going a lot better. Now what's the score? Okay, they're doing better now. Straight through. Nice. It does end now. You're right. Haha.
Get in there.
Face the fucking sunrise.
Bothersome.
See, Adam, this is why I need competent players, you know, bro. I just need competent players. Oh my god, I move away for 2 seconds and this happens. Right, give me my ult. Just gonna hold back a sec. There you go. Aye. Okay, that didn't work. That is nuts.
Evolution is a painful path to walk. Defeat.
Did I put Team Diff in it? Yes, I did. They fully deserved it. Ooh, hi Casey. How you? I don't know what you want from me here, chat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to do my own best job. How are you doing, Case? Welcome, Sin. Okay, I'm just getting home from work. How about you? How is work, Casey? How is everything going? We haven't had like a proper conversation in a while. I just want to know. How is the things going? Some of your characters' optimization is unavailable in this instance. Why? What does that mean though? What does that? Why are you doing this to me? They ain't gonna beat me on it. They want to out Moira me. Funny. Nice. Oh, we are pushing them so far. Don't get cocky, don't get cocky, don't get cocky, don't get cocky. That's me. I shouldn't get cocky. It's an Orisa! Yay! You're dead. Ouch, 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 ouch. Did they need to heal? Yeah, they need to heal. Fair, okay. This is an insane composition, by the way. That May with the Remarcher shield is nuts. Incoming. What's wrong, Arissa? What's wrong, Arissa? Okay, that's what's wrong, Arissa, I guess. Fam, that is just insane. How much does she want it? Oh my god, that was stupid. She's there, though. Video is so good on this map. Bunny, I thought you were going to bed. Yeah, you're so dead. Here, take this instead, I guess. Pop your ult. You don't have it. Oh, that was not that freaking net, man. Look at it. Oh, somebody please give me some clips. Bingo bango. Oh my god, they're all there. Nope, nope. Get the heal, get the heal, get the heal, get the heal. No, get the heal, 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 get the heal. There you are. Why is our team not pushing the payload? I'm gonna go up. Anti's low, don't get low, don't get low, don't get low, don't get low. That was funny, goodbye. Sayonara, bitch. It's been good. I really enjoyed it. The manager I work under for most of my shifts is really chill. That's kind of cool, Casey. I'm glad to hear. What is it you're doing these days? Last time I checked that you were doing a lot of like camp stuff. So you were going off to camp a lot. You were doing a lot of. I want to say scouts, but I also don't want to get like incredibly wrong. Face the fucking sunrise. You've just forced me to kill that soldier. How did you just... Bro, oh my god. There's sponging and then there's sponging, you know?
Bothersome.
Hey, the misery. Okay. There's no way we lose this. We've got to move it like 20 meters, you know? Ha! Move. Move if you can. Move if you can. Move if you can. Move if you can. That's what I thought. Oh my god, that was a kiss to the lips. Did not expect that. I looked them in the eyes as well. I really should have just went, nah, see you later. Oh, that's a hiccup. We've got this in the bag. She's dead, she's dead, she's dead. There you go. There we go. That's easy. GG's. Easy, you know. But we don't say easy because we're not toxic. We just say team diff when they're being absolute, you know, morons. Thanks for the endorse. Still doing it summer. Yep, I was. Oh, summer camp. That was it. Thank you. Sorry about that one. Oh, you really did hurt that person. A few times during the winter weekends when I have a full-time, full schedule, taking 5 classes a semester, allowed 20 hours. Oh my god, you're doing a lot of work, Casey. Just make sure that you're functioning as a human, okay? Take good care of yourself, okay, sweetheart? You know, I don't know. I'm just. You missed out. We were playing GTA roleplay before. It was doing kind. It was kind of fun. That's wild. What was kind of wild? The One Ring is just gross. I still feel obligated to put in all your decks. I put it in all my decks. It's just kind of, it's a staple piece. I think that the Ramatra and May combination, the shield and the wall, that did really well in that game. And that's why I'm kind of creme de, you know, it made me feel things I didn't feel for people beforehand. Okay, so I'm glad to see that you're doing stuff. And that you're doing fun. And you're having fun and doing well. Jesus Christ, I tried to say words. Oh.
Prepare to attack.
Oh no, I played Nate before and ADDs for me last time. Oh no, I'm a one-trick pony. Sure, let's go then. I should duo Q. You know, I should go DPS / support. Amir Discord.
Jameson Fox interviewing this fancy robot. Any wisdom to share with us as the battle begins?
There's no reason to run it, even if you're not abusing it. It's just not. It's. Oh, there's no reason to not run it. Oh yeah. Okay, I thought you were like the One Ring. What, really? Oh no. It's pleb. It's the Orisa from the last game.
This show on the road.
This is what I mean. You always get queued with the same players. It's just. It's fun chat, innit, bruv? It's just fucking funny, innit, bruv? Wow. It's not. And I can't go. Oh, please. I really wish I could have. It'd been really good, especially. I love this map as well. Pass into the iris. There you go, you're dead. You get healed now next. You never get queued with the same people when you have fun with them. Bro, oh yes, I know. It's Reinhardt. Adam, it's a Reinhardt. It's a Reinhardt. Let's. I want. You've already got your ults. Hi. Okay, never mind. I got abused. Just seeing on how's it? Hey, you're such a man. How you doing, bro? Kill him. Masculation, please. I can't. Not on my own. I genuinely do require. Oh, there she is. Someone to raid. I didn't see, but you couldn't. Huh? Was joining us, my love. Watch this, I get... Oh, look at that. Thanks for the triple kill, baby. Oh, you're coming with me, baby. Yeah, shut the freaking door, bro. The settings on it didn't allow me to raid. Oh, that's mad. I'll take a look at it later, but... Mark, I appreciate you coming down, though, bud. How's streaming going? How's life going? Look at this. The second I go Moira, the second that the game starts changing the pace. I'm going to emasculate this, Donny. Our Orisa just got killed by a Reinhardt. He's meant to be... Yeah, shut the fuck up, dude. Yeah, shut the fuck up, dude. I got shut the fuck up, dude. It's been good. Well, I'm glad to see you here, bro. Yeah, we started soldiers got why am I saying out loud? No one can hear me. We started streaming again today for the first time on a full schedule. We went back for our first stream back, which was on Wednesday last week, and now we're back full time Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Obviously now I have my company as well, so I have to kind of like blend the schedule. We're like, soldier, I want to kill you in your ult. Never mind, I don't want to kill you in your ult. That was depressing on me. Is this Reinhardt gonna come after me now? I'm so dead here. I'm so dead. How am I not dead? Huh? Never mind. That's why I'm dead. It happens, it happens. You have to remember. My coalescence is coalescing. Orisa is a flank. Oh my god. You know what? I'm just gonna run over. Just gonna take the objective. Look, you see what happens when I have to take over? Freaking clip it, bro. What an absolute waste of team. Chat, look, I have to take over this entire team. I'll do it myself then. This tank is the same tank from last game, but the enemy team, the actual dog poo. I'm on to be. You've lost 12 kg. Hey, yo, let's freaking go, Mac. That's nuts. Let me just get rid of this soldier. He's a piece of shit. I'm gonna kill myself here. That's fine. I wanted to reset. Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne, brother. If it was green, it would be the only creatures would fly in. Oh, you're talking magic still. Fair. I'm so dead already. Yep, get reset, buddy. Get reset. I just wanted to be reset. I'm gonna try C9.
The enemy has placed a turret here. Transporting the payload. Enemy turret on the left. Let the Kitsune guide you.
I've got you in my sights.
This is hella funny. He's going around? Holy shit. Oh my god, I C9 him so hard. Give me up. Okay, that's just rude. Oh, I could have C9 him so hard. Just not. And Fam, there's no point in me trying to heal them. Every time I get close to them, they're just dead anyway. Our tank is a moron. I've managed to get this first point. I've got it all the way down there for them now. Okay, never mind. GG. Madness. Look at that, I got GG'd. If I could download Overwatch on Nintendo Wii, I could play. That's kind of hot, bro. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to endorse a lot that game, though. I'm going to endorse the Reinhardt. And who else? There was no one on our team that really made a difference for me. There's Zenyatta was pretty... No, you know what? No, yeah, it was. There's Zenyatta was the only thing that kind of done anything. What did I get? 1, 2... Oh, did I only get 2 endorsements? That's kind of sad. I wish I had more. I'm a hoe for that kind of stuff, you know? Boo, 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 boo. Give me a good character selection pool. Okay, never mind. May I? Moira? Leave Q. Give it a sec. Oh, wait, so I can get different, yeah, fair. I should have done that. 2x2i. That was a nice person. No problem. Talks in block caps. No problem. Okay, chill, my dude. What's in parentheses? Shouts. Sorry, if Kaping what you've hacked, we can work together. Kit Kat. Oh, it's Kit Kat. It's Diva. Okay, never mind. Where can we go to? I reckon that we realistically should go over there. Right, so that's where I'm probably going to try hop to next. One. Oh no, it's a widow. Oh my god, that was just friends with benefits. Made for a friend of phone who gives me pretty regulated. That's cool. It's a mutual thing. You know, helping each other out with our random life decisions, helping her out dye her hair red. They've dyed their hair red. Yeah. Have you dyed your hair red, Casey? Have you dyed your hair red? Red. Yoink. Hello, Sombra. God, that's an Alari if I've ever seen one. Ramar should get back. Oh. I did just get... I feel like I'm responsible for the Diva's death. I did see that. I acknowledge my mistake there. Yep. Nah, I'm a blonde now. You're a blonde now? Well, you are going to be a red, right? That's why Taffa Goblins is so upset with me, is because he gets to watch my gameplay now and go, nah. Never mind. This is upsetting. What do you play these guys? Play a lot of Overwatch, Mac. I do. I want to try get into GTA roleplay. I'm on NoPixel right now, so I have a character that's doing pretty well. You said the tank being ignored? Yeah, well, look at the tank that I've got, okay? She's a diva who's not doing anything, and now she's an Orisa because it didn't work. Yeah, so I play a lot of GTA. I play a lot, well, GTA roleplay. I play a lot of Overwatch. Ah, she thought she could. Allow me to just introduce the fucking hook. Lickety ickety yuck. This is what the fuck I want. There you go, kill it. Okay, never mind. Just freaking multi-heal yourself. There you go. Good shit. Gotta get back to you saving up your monies. I have a whole $1.03 in your account, and I got paid on Wednesday. But case I relate. I know what the student life was like. I was there. I was there once, you know. What's Minecraft? I tried to play. You know what? I play Minecraft in my spare time. I don't stream it though. I should, and I might do. One of my goals is to have a Minecraft server open again. Allow me to just do this. Where are you? Okay, now where are you? There you go. Get some heals. Where are you? And I'm so sorry. Cannot eat. I cannot sleep tonight. You spend maybe more. That is crazy, actually. They're all saying they need healing, and both the healers are dead. Don't say you need healing when he's dead. I really thought I'd be able to outgun him on that one, but I guess his ult just absorbs more than mine can absorb. Please don't die again, Orisa. You're so dead. Hi. And you too, I guess. I see. I got you, bro. I got you. Well, I'm a season ticket holder for your favorite hockey team. That's fair. And I have to renew the season pass tickets, you know. So hey, I'm broke but happy. Hey, yo, broke but happy is the way to be, case, you know. Or just be a Twitch streamer. It's the same thing. Oh, this is hard work. Thanks for knocking me back. I might die here. This might be the end of Sin. Sin might die. I'm gonna die here, but it was worth the fight. Yeah, it's worth the fight. They've got the point. I didn't have any team members with me. A hard for you, birdie. Thanks, Ice. How you doing?
Evolution is a painful path to walk.
Oof. You get to meet other players, and it's almost every game. That is not actually way better than football. UK football. Hello there. Oh my god. Isn't that just upsetting? Where are you? What is Bridget looks like for a squishy POV? Hold on. She's a dickhead. I hate Bridget. She's so annoying. Yeah, I know, right? It is kind of worth being broke for. Let's get rid of you. I'm so dead. I played this game in ages. Listen, I love Overwatch, But if I don't have like another person in the team, I feel like the only downside to like today's stream would have popped so much better if I had somebody else in the stream with me, whether that be on GTA or on Overwatch. I might probably have my girlfriend join for tomorrow's stream if she's okay for it. Let's see. Just die, 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 just die. There we go, that's cool. But yeah, if it's either gonna be my girlfriend or at this rate my boyfriend, which is time for goblin with dad, you know whatever. Am I joining tomorrow's stream? You can do if you want to. How are you gonna play though? I think it's around 500 for a yearly. That's so cheap compared to what I thought it'd be. That's not our high noon. Ouch! She's got a new... And the season ticket's not even like the full year. Wait, Adam, how long's the football season? I don't know how long the season is. I feel like just staying focused. Yeah. It's also, it's like... the content would have just been a lot better if I had somebody else to bounce off of. Oh, football season's 11 months. Okay, fair enough. So it is kind of like a year. I want you to realize that you are dead because of your mistakes. So am I. Footballers get like 6 weeks off. I mean... yeah, they've got to earn the money somehow, you know. Slave labor or no. We should definitely have... Is all the team dead? No, I don't know. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, the whole team did die. Fair. Staying on the point, staying on the point, staying on the point, staying on... Staying on the point, 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 staying on the point. Never mind, we've lost. GG. Push on it. Touch the point. Just touch it. Yep, got it. There you go. GG's. Oh my god, my back. I need to just do this for a second. I accidentally minimized stream when I leaned back. My bad is it? It was Moira Bouquet. Huh? Huh? How is it Moira Div? Fam, it's... You know what? Nah, fuck this. Watch. You know what? Let's do ranked. Let's do a ranked game, shall we? And I'm taking my shoes off. Why am I wearing shoes indoors? You tell me. And I'm going to sit however the frick I want. Totally. It's also not the National Hockey League. It's the 2 leagues below. It's the ECHL, but I prefer it that way because there's less people. Feels like the players aren't entirely into the... Okay, that's fair. I see that. Also, this is my alt account. My main account... Actually, Adam, my main account's unlocked, so I could realistically just use my main account. I don't know why I'm still logged into this one. That makes me feel sad. I'm using my alt account as my main account. This is where it's going to take us forever to get into a game now. No, we're going to get into one. Now. Never mind. I take everything back that I've ever said. Lose control. Oh, I keep freaking hell. I keep moving my mouse here thinking it's on my other monitor, and it's not. It's just on this one. We're in a game. I got blamed for being I'm eating a sausage baguette with fried onions and cherry tomatoes. That sounds like perfection right now. I'm not gonna lie. Got told it was my fault in QP, so I'm here now. It's missing cheese. To be fair, a sausage cheese baguette with fried onion. I prefer, rather than fried onion, I'd prefer crispy dried onions, probably. Add a little bit of a crunch to the baguette. Oh my lord, that was a lot of it. Alright, baby. Good. This is where we win, okay? It does sound nice. What sauce do you have on it with that? What kind of sauce are you having with that? That sounds like you need a barbecue. Yeah, you need a smoky barbecue sauce with that. They said fuck, they have an eraser. Oh my god, the lag. There's a lot of lag. Bruno, where did she go? Oh, she's going on to the point. Sauce doesn't vibe you? That's nice. It needs a smoky barbecue sauce though, Adam, I'm sorry. Good, I'll pay it the fire. Shit, that was the wrong move. I am lagging though, like a lot. This is not the kind of... Stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive. Stay alive, stay alive. That's got to be mine. Fire ISP. I need to fire freaking everything, bro. Bro, I get gig... You've seen my internet, though. My internet's gigabits. And I'm just throwing... No, I'm throwing frames, to be fair. Well, I'm not dropping frames. I'm just skipping frames. Like, not on server. Not on stream, even. It's what? It's incoming. There we go, that's good. The hurt, cool. Oh, that was freaking naughty. Oh, I'd missed the jump. That was bad. Hiccup. Thank you. Oh, that was so close. I just need to hold off for like half a second. Never mind, I'm dead. Damn, that was naughty. That was, to be fair, that was good. They're gonna get it, and there's 30 seconds left. We really should have been able to keep hold of that ball. I want to take the blame for it, but I also don't. It's actually, yeah, I know. My FPS is dropping mad. But I don't know why. Like, my PC should not be struggling with this. Oh, that's upsetting. I'll have to mess with... I think it's because I do have, like, beautiful settings for everything. Yeah, fair. They do... No. They can make a game, but they can't make an optimized game. It's the servers. No, because I'm getting actual FPS drop. It's just overloading packets, I reckon. That was personal. Oh, that was on me. Fair. Thank you. I can move forward now. Why is it you can't get raids? No, I think it's... I don't get... because we used to get fake raids a lot, I turned off you can't raid if you're not an affiliate. And you can't raid at one viewer because we get a lot of fake raids, which can get you banned. So that's probably the only reason why it wouldn't have worked. Got him. Okay, we got it. I could probably just change it. It's just at the same time, Twitch is prone more to fake raids now than they are anything. But yeah, I'll change my settings now and see if it is a problem with my side. I doubt it is though. My PC has never struggled with this game at all. My stats though, however, they're freaking flying. I'm okay with that. That was freaking close, bro. Damn. Have you ever streamed it? Yeah, no, I have. I've streamed it before. But it was before I moved here. Which is the thing, but I always lowered the quality anyway. But when I stopped streaming, I just hired my quality back up to like maximum settings on everything. Oh yeah, there was C9. It's called C9ing when you don't look at the objective. I needed healing. Well, I'm trying to heal. Are you entertained now with your healing? There's one dead. She's dead now as well. See, is that what you wanted? Is that what they wanted? Remember that time we kept them in the spawn, but they didn't take the points of the game went infinitely longer? We just forgot that the point was there. We were like, oh, why is the game going on for it? Oh, that's why. That was a funny moment. That was a haha moment for Twitch, definitely. Right, let's go around. They're gonna try. See, I told you. It's not me. That's funny. Where are you? I am so sorry. I cannot eat. I cannot sleep tonight. I'm with you forever and always. Just give it, please. There we go. See? Ouch. Good round. Cover stacks were 18-2. Enemies must have been so annoyed. I thought you were pushing the payload. No, we were just like... We were the problem. That's it. What were my stats that round? 16-3. And yet I'm the problem. It makes me sad. I want to be able, I just want to go in the game chat and be like, you see? Let's see if I can change the quality of my video here.
I don't need medical support. I just
Dreamy eyes. Oh, it's on medium already. What the shit? It was alright. Oh, not your way. Damn. Wonder what's going on then. Yeah, don't remind me, please. I'm aware. There she is. No, she's moved. Never mind. Oh my god, the FPS. I'm on 16 FPS here. The team is so separated. I like to point out my range is insane right now. Will it absolutely fuck me if I do this? Nope. I'll do it after this. I'll just restart and lower the graphics. And there's Mercy dead. Takes us on to the points. We got this now. It's easier. And now we're dead. It's okay. Now we're not dead. Now it's not easier. The frame drop is definitely an upsetance. Lies will guide your way. Can we just move upright, please? Come on, move. Come on. It's not me. Our team is dog shit now. What happened to them? Why are they stopping? Switch Queen and Farah, please. Oh, fine. You know what? Shit. Look. Okay, never mind. Fuck me. I didn't want to play the game anyway. Can we just get to the point, please? Never mind. They just, what happened? We just won the first round. They went, nah, we didn't win the first round, did we? We lost it. No, we won it. That was the wrong button. Get onto it, Lucio. Oh, freaking hell, Lucio got so close. How? We won the first round, no? Did we lose? Did we lose the first round? I thought we won it. G squared. Nice. Haven't seen it. I cannot lose another game. Let me fix the graphic quality very quick. No, but we have 2 rounds. It was round 1-1. I'm confused. Either way. Oh well. I don't know if it's off, low. Yep, medium. Just freaking just go down to low. Why not? I don't care. Let me do a very quick restart. Parachute, parachute, parachute. Yeah, but yeah, so that makes no sense. Surely it had been we won the first round because they didn't get it to the end goal. And then we lost the second one, so then it should have been 1-1. Right? Oh well, I mean, the game says we lost, so obviously Overwatch has never lied to us before. Parachute, parachute, parachute. Did you disappear? My music brings the boys to the yard. And I'm like, damn, where's the music gone? There you are. Sure. If they push the protectors, which team gets furthest if you both get to the end as extra rounds. Okay. Makes me feel sad inside. Boom, boom. I'm gonna play one more game on comp, considering that I'm the problem. And be my parachute. Jesus freaking Christ. Do 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 do. My parachute. Do do.
Prepare for battle. Select your hero. Humanity is shackled. I will find the key.
Okay.
I'd rather wait a century
LG, 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 LG. LG, 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 LG. We got a monkey. Hello. I've got D ranked too much.
Greetings. 5, 4, 3.
Hello there. Alright, let's go. Monkey! We got the monkey! It's not the monkey, it's a scientist. Very crucial information, not the monkey, is a scientist. Remember that. Okay. What the fuck? That's a Genji. Thank you. I'm gonna die here straight away. Never mind. Okay. And the match got cancelled. I take that as an absolute win. Priority queue. Probably Harambe had a taser too. Lest we forget, okay? Lest we forget Harambe. Did you know cocks out for Harambe was an American slang term for getting your gun out for Harambe instead? Everyone was like, oh yeah, get your yucky out for Harambe. It wasn't to get your genitalia out. It was, in fact, get your weapons out as a sign of rebellion.
Prepare for battle. Select your hero.
Did y'all know that cocks out for Harambe was actually meant for your weapon?
No unnecessary risk.
Not. Good luck, have fun.
I prepped all night for this mission. Well, maybe I gained a little too.
It's a true fact that I just like spreading the love, you know?
3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective. Hello there.
Hello there.
Let's wipe them out. You must like having me around.
I can't get the... There you go. Never mind, just fuck my ball. Oh my lord! Ouch. Easy! Now come here, Diva. Diva's so... This Diva just likes to run around. Like, oh no, my team's not going to defend me. I need to go on my own. Nah, bro. Nice. Thank you. Move back. Come on, jump down, jump down, jump down, jump down, jump down. Whew. Okay, cool. We're back. My back is killing me, chat. Stand by, stand by, stand by. Oh no, we know where they are. Okay, that was from behind. Oof. I'm Farah Hazard. And why am I saying it out loud as if I've got my teammates in my ears? Overhaul, overpull. Okay, no, I saw the happen. Thanks, I guess. Just get to the objective. They're all C9ing. Okay, never mind. They're not C9ing. I'm being embarrassed. Oh. Bombastic side-eye.
Great minds are always persecuted.
I'm very much out of touch. Nice. Oh, thank you. That's my emblem. My duty is dealing destruction. That's a Lucio gonna go on the points. I need people to queue with. I despise solo queue is so bad on Overwatch.
We will be the lightning that rides the storm.
I'll see this matter resolved.
I'm gonna be mean.
Cannot tolerate any more missteps.
I'm going to be very mean. Okay, I'm a healer. I'm solely a healer now. That's all. I'm just a healer. Look, I'll damage. See this? I'm just a healer. I'm just a support character now. You've lost all the fun. You've killed it. Look, I'm gonna jump on. I'm just gonna be a support character. You want a heal orb? Fuck my life, fuck my life, fuck my life, fuck my life. What does he want me to do? Nah. He doesn't deserve it. Does it cost us to lose this game? If I D-rank, I'm gonna be so annoyed. Cool. I'm a support character, chat.
Hello.
I'm just a support character, chat. Son! Damn. Hey, son, how you doing, dude? Welcome, Sin. Whoa! That's a long-ass time, bro. How you doing, son? Welcome, Sin. Sorry, I was just focusing in a little gun battle, though. Right, we can get through, and if you get through, we team wipe, it's easy. Where the shit? Where's Junk? That was the worst ult I've did in my life. The single worst ult I've ever did. Why are you all going this way? Are you dumb? If they're all here, why are you going here? Fine. Cool. Alright, Benjamin, we're doing great. That's the way to play. Your Genji plays like a diva. Oh, bro, I'm telling you.
Group up with me.
They're about to lose because they just won't group up and they move to the left. Fam, of course it is. Of course that's how it's gonna go.
Great minds are always present.
Fam, they all went left again. Just get on the point. Just touch the point. Just touch. Just touch it. I'm gonna get blamed for this. Watch, it's amazing. I'm de-ranking because of it. I'm waiting for the Moira. Oh look, it's me. Man, they did so good at the beginning. I'm gonna drop down to gold 3. Watch this. Whoa! Huh? Why'd I get D-ranked so much? That's pain. I was upset in the hydration. I got you with the hydration. Thank you for the hydration, dear boo boo. Right to top 500, let's go, bro. Right to top 500 and get you DQ that fast. Let's just do it unranked. I wish that there was more people who were online that could actually play this game right now, because it's so much more fun when I've got people on here. Oh, look, it's me. This is the account I don't play ranked on. That made me upset to play.
Prepare your defenses.
I am a strong believer that I don't think I'm the problem, but is that just the Orisa? Is that just well? Yeah, no. To be fair, yeah, that's the saying. Is it not the Orisa in me that thinks that I'm not the problem? I think I'm a good player. I actually feel like I'm doing good as a Moira. I'm a strong believer. That's fair. Listen. I can't defend you. I'm sorry. Is that a Doom on QP? It is.
I only hope
I'm gonna give myself more room to move.
I'll see this matter resolved.
Okay.
Hello there.
We're going left side as well, which is weird. Thanks for all of them. Go on this side. Come on. Mercy's getting cocky. Never mind. I'm just getting cocky with that Mercy, I guess. Oh. Okay, I'm dead. I'm dead. Nope, never mind. Oh my god. Oh my god. Huh? What the shit? Thank you? What the shit was that? I don't know if once it's just a bunch of things that could go wrong, you have agency over. I know, but it's just hella infuriating. That was not the right room to put that into. Thank you. Did you just not drop? Perfect. Look at you. You move around. Look at you. You feel hillbilly. Look at you. You're gonna get straight even if you look far. Oh my god. Nope. 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 Hello. Hello there. Okay, never mind. Just jump over it. Just jump over it. Ignore what I did. You're dead. Oh my god. Okay, I fully acknowledge that that was my fault. I've been at you all night, no sleep, and I feel like I'm always bleeding. I'm okay, and I'm okay. You let them out once. That's the thing. If you let them out once here, they've got the points. What do you want me to do here? They took that. There was one player that was on there. Yeah, there was nothing there. I knew for a fact it would have. It's too uptight about team composition and quick play combined, and a bunch of people getting confused with counter pick. There's just so much that is wrong with Overwatch. As a performing game, it could do really well if they just paid, like, if the devs paid attention to the game in the slightest bit. Yeah, people to rein the horns in on the way that other players are treated. Actually read what the reports are so you don't just worry about your entire account that you spent your bank balance on getting deleted. That's Mercy. God, then Mercy is doing God's work. The Mercy is doing God's work. I'm on my way. Oh my God. Oh, there's a healer. I mean, yeah, kinda. Where's the there's the Mercy? Come to me, come to daddy, come to daddy, come to daddy. Can I just not please reach her? There she is. There she got her. Damn it. Oh, he's down against. Oh my God. Oh no, where was that? Okay, that was mad. They've designed the game so that we have minimal freedom of what hero you can pick. True. These are metal or anti-metal. Yep, exactly. I know, and it's fucking stupid. Am I unbelieving? You're in love with me. I'm gonna die immediately out of spawn. That's crazy, bro. Oh well, who's this fellow? Look at this distinguished gentleman. I'm raging, Shadows. Everyone else meant to play games for today ended up not being able to play games today, which meant that the stream... Oh my God. So the stream was very much delayed in what it was able to be done. Welcome in, no brother. Just die already. Hi, everyone. Bear with me, Shadows. I can see you. As always, bro, I didn't want to miss it for real, for real. Hey, for real, for real. I see you, baby. You missed GTA, though. GTA was good. It's just, it gave me mad encoder issues. Drink that water. Hey, yo, listen. It ain't gonna be water today, bruv. It's gonna be... Mountain Dew. It's gonna be Mountain Dew today, which is not great for me, I know. But, well, it's what we're fucking dealing with, bro. Never mind, didn't want to live anyway. Team diff. Water is water. It's got water in it, bruv, innit? It does contain some water. You know what? This is what we're doing. What? Shadows, what were you playing in Discord earlier? Was you still playing Oh no, get me out of it. Were you playing Roblox still? What is that melody? We've lost here. Make me run faster. Mercy's gonna get it. I'm gonna give Mercy it. No, she left me. GG's. I just want to have my friends inside of these streams with me. I might see it coming up. I might organize a subs carried. Mercy was insane. It's true. To be fair, Mercy was insane. Right, chat. Listen to me carefully. Don't queue up again, you little bitch. That's what I said to, send that to whoever you wanted to send that to, and then say that I called them a little bitch. Okay? I am wondering who in Garden 2 names is even going to be live with this time of night? Oh, wait, actually, Shadows. That's a good point. Thank you for sending over those bits. Hey, yo, I appreciate it. Thanks for your titties, boy. Okay, so that looks good. That's okay. That looks like it's a good size. Some of the things broke last time I was here, so... I was using them for... Mercy sent me a friend request. I'll accept that friend request. I love a good Mercy. Mercy's are cool. I've logged off for the night, though, darn. I'm sorry. Right, I want to see, is there anyone who we love? Is the VOD going to be posted? VOD's going to be on YouTube. Yeah, so the VOD will be on YouTube. And then... Oh, so to kind of... Wait, to be fair, I'll talk about this very briefly. While we look at the potentials of the Raiders, you know. Let me look for the Raiders first, and then we can... So the plan of action, chat, is I'm going to be uploading the VOD after stream straight away. So when the stream ends tonight, what I'll do is I'll be in the person that we raid chat, because don't forget Shadows, as I was saying, you always raid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be raiding, and then I'll end. I'll talk to the person in chat. I'll download the VOD from Twitch, and I'll upload it straight onto YouTube on Syntrosity VODs. If you've not followed all of the channels, you've got Syntrosity HD, Plays, Reacts, and then VODs. And you've technically got shorts, but we're going to mix and match those. So when stream ends, VOD goes onto YouTube straight away on Syntrosity VODs. Go follow that one. Watch the VOD if you missed it. And then I'll be making shorts out of the stream anyway and just editing it down so that we have clips for Syntrosity shorts. And that's it. So there's a lot... Shadow, so you don't understand how much work goes into that, buddy. Let's see, what did that person say? On red message by... What did Mercy say? You want to join our group? I'm logging for the night. What's another time for sure? Oh, that's kind. The Mercy offered me to join their group. They just added me as a friend and went, do you want to join our group? They're so kind of them. I appreciate them. We love queens that do that. I feel like... Wait, I feel like I recognize this person. Away. I'm going to watch the VOD so I can laugh at my own jokes. To be fair, they are funny jokes. I recognize this person that's playing Minecraft and I want to check them out. Never was a cloudy day.
He makes a damn good hat. I'll say that much.
Oh, they're playing with Spexy. That's why I know them.
Oh.
What we'll do.
Oh no, that's Gherkin. That's Gherkin.
Okay, wait. That's...
Chud all along that water there, my neighbor.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, that's me.
Oh, I'm gonna spread the chud. I'm gonna spread the chud.
Spread it. Spread it.
Do it. I'm spreading the chud.
Get him.
I'm just gonna
You know,
add.
my dog is upset. You know.
Oh my
about
gosh,
this.
Magoo.
I can't.
Oh,
poor Magoo.
You know.
Oh wait, no, I know.
Don't worry, Gherkin. We're gonna spread the chud.
That's right. Oh.
Remember.
Well, I gotta.
This has been
God
bless
I still gotta do your trailer.
This person. Let's see if they actually acknowledge me.
Okay, I'll be right there. I'll be right
You
there.
ready?
Hey,
Hi.
Gozy, you want to have a conversation
Are you
with me
cool?
real quick?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's how we find out if people are cool or not, right?
Actually, let's take the water down. Let's take the water down.
Yeah, sure.
Centrosity, thanks so much for the follow. Welcome in. Wee. Ow.
She said thank you,
Ow.
chat. She said thank you.
I really did miss. I didn't do that on purpose. So,
It
yeah.
didn't. The message didn't get
I
posted
am
because
making another build.
I said, "Is she cool?" and it got threw back at
And
me. Okay. Well, you know what? You're cool. I like the way that she talks. She talks like she knows what she's doing. Chat, listen. We're gonna go over and raid Moxie. Moxie's new. Okay. She plays Minecraft and she swears, so she tells you all to frick and frick frack, you know? So listen, go over, go say hi to Moxie. You're like, Moxie! You got Moxie? It's... I hate myself for that one. I do. Chat, listen, we're going to go live again tomorrow, 9 p.m. GMT. It's an early BST, so we've nearly got that, but it's 9 p.m. GMT. We're going to be going live. If I can fix GTA by then, we'll play some GTA and hopefully we'll have Gunner and we'll have Carter on there as well. We can play Mater. I enjoy it with Mater. Mater's he's a character I want to carry on playing. Okay, so let's see where we go. Okay, if not tomorrow, we'll see if we can get some people on. We might end up playing Overwatch as well. If we can get the GF online, and also we'll get Adam on next week, which will be kind of cool. So, you know, we'll do that. Shadows, if you ever want to play Minecraft as well, I'll probably open up a Minecraft server soon as well. So let me know. Chat, I love you all. Thank you for coming by. It's been cool. I'll see you all, same time, same place, tomorrow evening, 9 p.m. GMT for some more BS and tea. Until then, chat, my name is IntelCHD. You've been awesome. And as always, I'll see you on the flip side. Ka-chow. Rwanda sometimes.